Just start streaming, and then we'll hit record eventually.
So the nibbles, right? He got 2 chocolate nibbles with a chocolate dipstick, right? Which is like an 8-inch donut in a.
What's a dip? I don't understand what a dipstick is.
You don't know what
It's a donut stick. It's a big stick.
Instead of a round donut, it's a long
dildo.
It looks like a
It's
dildo.
a dildo donut.
Yeah.
It's a dildo.
It's
A
black,
donut.
and there's a
Right?
It's a dill nut.
A donut. So he got one of those, right? And then
It's
two
soft,
and
it
2
breaks.
tidbits, chocolate. So that was the Robert Parrish because it'd be the dick and 2 balls.
Oh,
He got the
Kevin
plain,
McHale.
which is the white one.
I feel like I'm only slightly lost because I'm Canadian. I'm like.
I know
what
it
the
hurts.
fuck?
It hurts. And then, so you didn't know it was a random grab bag of what you were going to get. And my favorite part of the entire Robert Parrish experience, Steve, was
Donut
was the $3
Donut stick.
that were stapled
That
to
just sounds like donut
Yeah, because
stick.
then you could get a coffee.
It sounds like donut stick. It
That
doesn't
was
sound
cool.
like donut stick.
Oh, sorry.
It's like
Was that not cool?
donut dick.
That's
Like,
just
okay,
how it
okay,
is.
like let's have a donut dick. Like I'm super excited.
Was that
Just
not
the
cool,
cock
though,
of
dude?
donuts.
Correct.
So he
And he
coined
paired it with some donut holes.
That doesn't even look like appetizing.
the
It just
Robert
looks
Parrish.
like
It's a donut
a coronary.
in a
Yeah, right.
stick.
Yeah.
It's a stick donut, right?
But why? Why
'Cause-
is that necessary?
Because you dip it into your coffee, right? Because the round one, you can't get it in the cup, I think, right? It's a dipstick. You dip it in the coffee.
That's why it
right?
becomes funny.
Right?
So that just looks like a
Let me see what you got.
floppy black dick.
What do you got?
Exactly.
What do you got? What are you showing her? I don't even know.
The cock
Yeah.
The
That's the
cockstick.
Robert Parrish,
Yeah.
okay? So you get that and 2 tidbits, chocolate tidbits, right?
Yeah, Timbits.
Did I Timbits? Did I
Yeah.
complete the visual?
Yes, I got.
Okay, all right.
I got the cock and
Kibbles
balls.
and
Fair enough.
bits.
Fair
So
enough.
if you mix
Kibbles
the
and
two,
bits?
you have Michael Jackson.
The twist.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I get a chocolate and vanilla
It's a
twist?
French crawler
right?
that's been cut
I
now.
feel
don't
like
think
you
she
guys
got
have to
the-
take me to it, like Dunkin' Donuts, and
We'll go tomorrow.
explore.
We'll go
Right
tomorrow
here.
before you
It's
go to Boston.
Right
We'll
down
go.
the hill, yeah.
We'll go.
'Cause-
Oh, if she goes to
Well, we
Boston,
can,
she'll have fucking
if they're open tonight, we can stop her by. We'll give it. Which one would you like, the Robert Parrish or the Kevin McHale?
Or the Michael Jackson.
Which one would you like?
Whatever is more hilarious.
Appealing.
I feel. Yeah.
The Michael Jackson would be like a smashed jelly donut.
It's a French crawler cut in half.
You know what's weird is you get donuts in China, right? I'm not even making China.
I love China.
So it's a dipstick, right? I'm not even making this shit up. I'm like, I'll go get a donut, right? I'm staying at this hotel and I go downstairs to their lobby and they have like fresh made donuts. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll take a fucking glazed donut, right? Like
Is this Facebook Live?
I'll take the dipstick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, I go outside, I order my food, I get my coffee. I'm like, yeah, right on. I'm like walking across the street. I'm like eating halfway through the donut, dude. All of a sudden, I get halfway through it in the middle, and
There's a fucking pubic hair in it.
there's meat and gravy
Whoa.
in the fucking donut.
Wow.
I'm not even shitting you. They put like fucking Dinty Moore.
So was it like a pork bun?
My phone or yours?
This is my phone.
I don't know what it was.
They pork bun the
Why are
donut.
they sending that to you?
I have no idea.
But in the middle was like Dinty Moore
you
beef
have to
stew.
allow it.
But it like talk about an
You have to comment
unexpected
back.
what do you want me to say?
treat.
Get witty. Say whatever
Yeah.
you want.
You know?
Maybe you went to a fetish shop.
What does that
My-
mean?
No,
our
dude.
fans are
What
messaging
does that
Vicky
even mean,
about
though?
SMSS.
I don't Saturday morning shit show.
Oh.
SMSS. Yeah.
Steve,
Because you
should we
said
be-
you do one, so.
Alright.
They have another thing called like fucking.
I don't understand your like little.
I'm having my own conversation over here. Who am I talking to? Who am I talking to right now?
I don't know, I'm lost too.
Yeah, right.
There's so many dick donuts and fucking.
This is the show.
Thanks for coming, Vicky. Have a nice trip.
Good night, folks.
God damn all this way. Here comes Vicky.
Fall with her ass down here from Toronto with her moon boot. You know, had that RoboCop fucking sheath on her fucking
I
right
thought I was
ankle.
watching fucking Total Recall for a little while.
You know. What am I? What the hell was I talking about? Fucking moon
We
pies?
lost it.
You were talking about the Dinty Moore donut stick.
Yeah, right.
We not moved on from the donut dick yet.
No, he's got a good one.
Okay.
He was in China.
Totally missed it. Right?
Chinese donut dick. So like.
Dan, are you saying Joel has a good donut dick? I want to nibble that motherfucker. Is it cinnamon? Is
Sprinkled.
it cinnamon?
It's
Sprinkle.
Dinty Moore.
It's cinnamon, isn't it, you
beef
motherfucker?
Sprinkled with something.
It's shepherd's pie.
shepherd's pie donut dick, Dan?
Yeah, they had like.
What the hell? What are you talking
That's
about,
what he's
Dan?
talking about.
Why is it always the computer guys who are really fucked up and they go like really rogue with the sex shit?
That's 'cause-
like
that's 'cause we have the
shepherd's
internet.
pie donut dick.
You know, next week that'll be
My
a
wife says,
featured
always
flavor.
married a nerd. Always marry the nerd.
They're like some closet freaks, I bet.
Yeah.
You
But-
fucking programmers.
So they would make these like these moon cakes, right?
Yeah.
I'm not, and this is in China, just to digress so people catch what we're talking about, right? And there'd be like, so it's like almost like cornbread.
I've had a mooncake. It's
No,
not
shut
a-
up. Like they're like they're like a cornbread,
Where
right?
the fuck have you had a mooncake?
My friend Tommy, who used to work for me, used to bring me gifts and
Oh, I bet he
Usually
did,
mooncakes.
you fucking gay!
mooncakes. They're good.
Okay, so
It's made out of lotus flower.
these come out like Chinese.
Oh, lotus flower?
Yeah, you
I've
know-
never heard a grown man say it's made of lotus flower.
Is this really
Gay.
loud, Steve, or is that just my
I
headphones?
don't know. It's just fucking,
Is this really loud, or is
I don't.
this-
It's awesome. I'm enjoying myself.
Is it really loud, or is this my
Vicky's like,
headphones?
I'm ready to leave.
I drove 10
I
hours
don't
for
know why
this.
the conversation's still on donuts.
I don't know.
No, what they,
Sorry.
I'm trying.
Clearly, we're not getting enough hole at home, so we gotta go on to the donut talk.
I'm trying to get the story out, right?
All right, get the story and we're gonna start the show.
Yeah, yeah. So they have these things. They're like a cornbread, all right? And so what
You
they
gonna eat your cornbread?
yeah. So like imagine like a series of small banana bread, pastry like looking things, right?
Yeah.
So what they do is during Chinese New Year, this shit comes out, right?
This is exactly why I have it.
Yeah, yeah. And then if you're lucky, quote unquote, you're gonna get the one with the solid egg yolk in it.
Yeah.
All right? Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking
Didn't
about.
like it.
You got the egg yolk.
Yep.
You're a lucky fuck. But you're eating a cake, right?
Correct.
Steve, you like to dabble in the kitchen, you know?
Yeah.
Who doesn't, right? And so you're up there and you're making so like imagine if you like all of a sudden you're eating a pastry and all of a sudden you're not expecting it, you get this random egg yolk in your mouth.
Not good.
Like a hard-boiled egg. That's their good luck charm. Happy New Year!
The cake is good, other than the egg yolk.
I saw
The cake was
pictures
yummy.
on the internet about people posting chicken, like medium. I like my chicken cooked medium, and it's like half. It's raw.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like just barely like cooked, like
No, you just
medium
suck at
rare.
cooking. You don't like shit. You suck at
And they're
cooking.
like
okay?
but they're posting
Right?
it like they cooked like this magnificent thing, and it's raw chicken.
Yeah, right.
I like my fucking chicken medium rare. It's like what are you fucking retarded?
No, here's
you ever
the
hear
thing.
of salmonella? I don't have a college education. I know about that
No,
shit.
fuck
I'm
salmonella,
not
dude.
like
We become a bunch of pussies because if we were caveman shit, we'd eat that fucker raw, okay?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, my wife's always like that. She's like, you can't eat that. It's a little bit pink. I'm like, hon, if it were fucking 200,000 years ago, this shit wouldn't even be fucking white, okay? We'd just be eating fucking, we'd eat that, we'd like kill that thing and just eat it right there on the fucking ground. You know what I mean?
Or hold it over the fire until we get burnt.
No, we
and
didn't
eat
have
it.
fire, dude. Fuck
Yeah.
that. We just eat the shit.
We didn't fire.
Thank God our ancestors were a bunch of pussies because we wouldn't have made it this far, you know? Yeah, but I'm not eating that. It's fucking raw. No, that shit.
But instead we eat fucking donut sticks and
Steve's
shit.
on his own adventure over there right
Dinty
now.
more fucking donut
I got the
rolls.
cornbread from Life going.
I hear you.
It's awesome. You ever seen Vicky? Ever seen the movie Life with
No.
Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence?
I may have
It's
seen it,
hilarious.
but I don't
It's
remember it.
One of the best movies ever made.
Steve Chase really wants us to call him, but I don't think that's this week. So
Well, I've actually hit record, so
I don't
we're,
care.
we're recording. But
That's fine.
no, I know it is what it is.
it
Unfortunately,
is what it is, dude. Maybe next
I
week.
told him we call him if he answers. He answers.
All right,
you
fair
know
enough.
that. Whatever, dude.
Vicky could be the first guest caller to a guest
We on
caller.
video too as well.
We're live across the world.
All right.
motherfuckers.
Oh, I'm so sorry, folks.
Yeah. We've been live for the past fucking 20 minutes.
What the hell did you hitch your horse to this weekend, huh?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Friday night. This is how you're going to start it off your weekend.
All right.
It's gonna
Ready?
be a fucking low ball.
Let's do this. We'll just fucking get rid of it.
Okay.
5.
4.
We're going with. This is the only Canadian band that I know that's like. I think they're good.
Rush.
If you play something really stupid,
It's gonna be really stupid, of course. Do you know where you're at?
You're in the jungle, baby.
You're in the break room. It's gonna suck.
This is so cliche
Yeah.
and so horrible choice. I'm going with this.
All right.
fucking hoser.
Canada's only people. 5, 4, 3,
That's Celine Dion.
2,
Oh, it should be, but it's
and
not.
1. Vicky's stunned. She doesn't know this.
I don't.
What the? Wow.
Oh God.
There we go.
Oh, fuck.
This is Steve.
Canada's worst export.
This is Joel.
Program it in.
We also have Programmer Dan in the house, and all the way from Canada, Vicky from the Instagram, the special guest of the evening.
You wanted her. We got her. 10 hours later, here she is, by popular demand. Welcome, Vicky, to the show.
Yes, thanks for making it. She really just came down here to save on cigarettes.
I
Just like all
Let's
the
be real.
Canadians.
Well, let's be real
did. Your
here.
beer may suck, but I'm taking it back with me because it's cheap.
It's all good after the 7th one. Doesn't matter what you're drinking.
As long as it's not Corona.
Yeah,
That's
right?
true.
I hate that.
Dos Equis,
I'm,
Zima.
I like Corona. Corona's good. Corona
But if you
Light's
don't have
better.
a lime, it's just awful.
No, I can drink it. Dos
can't.
Equis is
Sorry,
better.
no.
Dos Equis is way better.
Steve,
That
if
is a
you ever
hard
fi-
no.
If you ever find fruit in my beer, you can punch me in the mouth as hard as you fucking can, right? That's with full
So I'm
permission,
gonna
right?
punch you hard in the mouth right now live.
But
how
I
many
would
beer?
rather be
I don't drink fruit in
sober
my
than
beer.
drink a Corona without a lime.
Right? Why don't they just pre-lime that shit, right? They did Bud Lime. Everybody puts a fucking lime in it,
I
right?
can't stand a
Yeah,
pre-lime
but Bud
shit.
Light lime is just.
I can't stand pre-lime nothing.
No, it's
Soda.
horrifying.
Beer. bleh.
Here I am just waiting for Crystal Pepsi to make a comeback.
I love Crystal Pepsi.
That
Bring
would
that
be
shit. I
wonderful.
loved that shit as
Yeah,
a kid.
that was good shit.
I love that stuff.
This is episode 66.
Yes, the Mario Lemieux edition.
Fuck yeah, it is. You think they're gonna?
I love Mario. That's my childhood idol
I
as
know
a kid,
it is.
dude.
Are
Love
they
Mario
gonna
Lemieux.
three-peat, or is the Leafs coming up this year?
I don't know.
Vicky?
The Leafs. Well,
I'm not a Leafs fan.
How about
Really?
the Canucks? Just
What?
saying.
I'll always be a Canucks fan because I'm from Vancouver.
From the-
from Whistler, which is outside Vancouver. So I will always be a diehard Canucks fan. I'm sorry, Toronto, but I can't support the Leafs. Maybe I'll jump on the bandwagon if we ever get to the playoffs. But
you look like Stevie Wonder,
just swaying.
going with like just
Well, I'm
talking.
sitting up in an awkward
I'm in that
position,
fucking
so
trance. I'm in a trance. I'm like, what?
Should I just body roll with it?
Like
There
a
you
snake
go.
charmer. Are you twerking in the drive right now?
After you, sir.
Yeah. So Vicky is actually a mechanic, right? Mm-hmm. I know it's a rare thing to actually sit down with advisors. And we're supposed to be like
Yeah,
this
fuck
love-hate
those guys.
relationship, right?
Yeah.
We're not supposed to get along.
But you know what makes Vicky different from the normal female technician? Well, just look at her.
Aw, thanks, guys.
Right?
There's a reason we asked her to come down all the way this way. You know,
It was for the beer.
she volunteered. I can't believe it.
Well, you know,
Did you have any stories from the road of your travels down here? Like, did anything interesting happen on I-90?
well, I'm hoping my mom figured out how to work Facebook to watch this because she's going to laugh at me. I crossed the border at Niagara Falls, and the crossing guard was like, the super serious, like,
Yeah.
American crossing guard where they're like completely like, oh, what are you coming into the States for?
You must be a terrorist.
Yes, like, what is your purpose here? I'm like, oh, I'm going to New Hampshire. He's like, what are you going to New Hampshire for? I'm like,
A podcast.
I'm going for a podcast about cars because I'm a female mechanic, and I do this thing called Torque&Tatas for breast cancer. And he's like, I love Torque&Tatas. I'm like,
You should-
yeah, you do.
If I was the border crossing, I would have just been like, I love tatas. you Pasco. You collect all Monopoly pieces. You go now.
He just started cracking up. He's like, I gotta say, like, the pink is pretty awesome on your truck. And I'm like, yeah, I figured it would impress you, all the Canadian flags. But, he was good. He was good shit after he warmed up a little bit and was like, okay, you're not a terrorist, I guess.
I'm going to apologize and say I'm so sorry that that's the first American that anybody needs to run into is a guy like that at the border.
Yeah, the
You know what I
border
mean?
guy.
Like,
Yeah.
we just look like a bunch of douches right off
What
the
are you
jump.
bringing into the States?
Yeah.
Maple syrup?
My attitude.
I think we should throw.
Canadian
I think
bacon.
I think they
bacon,
should
yeah.
have the panhandlers standing
That's a
standing
great
out at
idea.
the Canadian
Well,
border.
I think it's somebody fucking cool at the border.
Well,
Steve,
at
right?
Niagara Falls, the border is pretty much over the falls.
Right.
So, like, what happens if they don't let you in? Do they just, like, huck you off the bridge?
Yeah,
I
you're
love
committed.
Into the falls?
Yeah, you're on the Peace Bridge up there
Yeah.
in Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're committed at that point.
Yeah, right? Like,
But could you imagine they could get some stand-up
Yeah,
comedian
same
up there at the
thing.
border, Like, hey Hey folks, how you doing? Welcome to America. What's going on tonight? You know?
$1.25, please.
You know, just get
Welcome to the United States, $1.25 pop.
But the best part is that when you are driving like across the freeways to get here from Buffalo,
Yeah, right.
there's like toll roads, right?
Oh fuck yeah, there are.
Awful.
Yeah,
Awful.
awful, but fast, efficient.
Right.
But my mom, over the years, I guess, my parents have collected like massive amounts of American coin, like small coins, 10 cents, quarters.
Too bad you can't use them anymore.
What? No.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh.
So she had a decent. I'm gonna put my hands up here so people can see.
Welcome to West
decent size.
$1.25, please. Hey, how you doing, Willie?
So tell the story.
Okay, so like
as this is going.
a decent
Let's see.
sized jar of change, anyways, because you know you come back to the States, you got change in your pocket from using cash, throw it in a jar, whatever, what have you. So we drive from Syracuse to Albany, and we go to pay like the toll at the end of the road, and it ends up being like $13.25.
Yeah.
So my mom makes me sit and count out change to pay the full toll, and passes the lady that you pay like at the toll booth $13.25 in quarters, nickels, and dimes American.
It's awesome.
And she's like, "Is this okay? Because it's legal tender."
Yeah.
I'm like, and I'm sitting in the passenger seat, she's like, "Oh, fuck me."
Did they say, like, I can't take this?
She looked at my mom and gave her like a blank resting bitch face, and then started laughing. Just started crying, laughing. I felt so bad for her. I was just like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you had to count $13 and change.
Your mother's probably been dying to get rid of that shit
yeah.
for years.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure some of those coins are like from the
You
60s.
got to pay the fucking toll, you dirty whore! You fucking skull, you cum guzzling queen! Hey, how are you?
There's probably some collectible shit coins in there, you know? It's like
Oh,
some-
for sure.
Yeah, right.
Well, I found a Deutschmark in the pile.
Nice.
That's not American, just
No,
in case
that's
anybody.
why I picked it out of the pile.
Hello,
Someone
Willie.
went to
Good to
Germany.
see you. Ah, Bishop Nelson, nice to see you.
My favorite.
That was quite a
Apparently.
We're still going on.
I know, it's like minute 5.
$1.25, Bishop.
You thought this was going to be an automotive podcast, but Steve's just going to relive Adam Sandler's greatest hits.
This goes with her story, dude.
Yeah.
It really did.
I don't know. By the time we got here, we were just done.
Sure.
It was a
Remember
lot.
the time
Dude,
that
I-90 is brutal. My family lives like halfway out that shit. That's brutal.
It wasn't even that when the road ended.
You went through some of my family land out there.
Yeah,
How
we
dare
went
you?
through this just horrible road, and
Yeah, that's
I got stuck behind a truck and shifting between second and third in a standard truck, like
Oh.
my Jeep's manual.
Yeah.
So I'm shifting up, shifting down, shifting up, shifting down, just to cruise behind.
probably
this
one of my
truck.
cousins.
Oh, it was ruthless, and it took
I'm
it's
forever.
like the time I
think
threw the
time up
change
there-
at the panhandler.
Right?
I think the time up there took as long as it took to get across the entire interstate.
You get out near like Syracuse and shit, and it's just flat.
Yeah.
And there's nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you the people on the East Coast that have never traveled the United States, like you get 400 miles west of here, and there's fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Then you hit like the bigger cities like Buffalo.
Here and
then
there.
Erie and then
Oh
Cleveland.
yeah, you get out there, Chicago.
Chicago.
Right?
But if you fly the
Right.
other way, like if you're going Toronto out to like Washington State,
Yeah.
you just fly straight across.
Yeah, you fly through Wisconsin, Minnesota.
Yeah, you're just going, like
Sure.
you're flying, like twice the speed that you would go through Canada because you're not on the Trans-Canada Highway. Like you're not stopping and going around things.
Correct.
Like in the States, you're just boom, 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 because your speed limit's higher too, right?
65, maybe 75 in
Which translated into
non-rural
Canadian
areas.
is 110 kilometers an hour.
Right, right,
That's
right.
great.
So for us, like our speed limit would be 100.
I would love to go 110 miles per hour on the highway.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That would be fun.
I don't think I could go that fast though.
Oh yeah.
Not
Well,
in my- not my
not
Jeep.
your vehicle, no.
Not in my vehicle.
No. I got a truck up there. Not that high though.
Steve's
All I
digging through
know
the
is that
Canadian
on
beer.
the QEW outside of Toronto, you guys fucking
Gotta dig through the Canadian beer.
roots. So
I
fat.
still got this one.
Yeah, Steve's getting another beer.
But
But I went up there. I went up to the QEW,
Here you go, Dan.
right?
Yeah.
I went up to Chatham, Ontario to pick up a car.
another one.
Actually, a '68 Chrysler
I like these
300,
guys.
nice.
right, with a 440 Magnum.
Well, Well, the thing is, I
Right.
find that Canadian
Liquid
cars, there's
hot
more of an
magnum.
abundance in the States of people that are keeping like souped up cars or like old muscle cars or whatever. Like there's more of an abundance here, but the Canadians, when they do have them, they really take care of them.
Yeah, it was in
like,
great
they are
shape.
babied compared to the way they are here. But at the same time, the Canadian cars like that never see salt.
Right.
They will never be
Do you
driven
guys
in
use a
winter.
lot of salt up there? Or is
Oh,
that
so much.
really? So it's like here. Yeah.
It's-
Well, we have that new
Undercarriage.
liquid shit here.
Oh, it's even worse.
Yeah.
Shit's even worse. 'Cause it
What's that
penetrates.
shit
There is
called?
no way of rust-proofing the undercarriage.
I don't know what it's called,
I'm
but
too
it's
many
like
beers
it's fucking pretty
Yeah.
bad. It's like
Sulfate something.
it's worse than salt.
right.
And it doesn't even do anything. That's the worst part. Like, what does that shit do?
Makes expensive car repairs.
It's-
right.
The New Hampshire does Canada have a safety inspection yearly safety inspection? You look fucking hot with those shades, by the way. I love it.
I
I love
just
it.
Trying to copy him.
Yeah.
I love it.
Waves.
Yeah, we always wear our shades. Wear your sunglasses
Well, I
at
have
night
to be
here.
like cool like you guys, I guess. Just
We're
join
kind
me.
of. This is like one of those hiding videos where like.
Even though like I'm.
Yes, I was a technician for 50 years. The guys will come in and they say, I have a rattle in the back and we're told by management to make up a bunch of shit. Because
And
we need to...
selfies.
Yeah, right. Like I'm in the dark. I have like a puffy jacket on to hide my figure. You know. Some
And your
weird-
No,
your
you gotta
voice
do
is
the
all
girl
fucked up.
pose. It's all about the girl pose.
Your voice is all fucked up.
It's all...
Yes, one time I did leave a bolt on loose.
My boss
I did
came
not
to
put
me.
the bolt in.
My boss would say, go ahead and pour some oil onto the seam so it looked like there was an oil leak. But really, the car was fine.
Yeah, they always like. That's what we're trying to do here because we don't want anybody to know who we really are.
Techie, Vicky, as far as a tech, have you done some shady shit to make some money on warranty?
Maybe that wheel bearing was
See,
a little
eventually,
bit loose.
honestly,
this is what happens with the show. It's a bunch of fuckery. We suck people in, and then we hit them with the fucking hard questions. That's how it rolls.
It's like the Larry
Have
King
you ever?
Live.
Yeah.
of,
Have you you gotta make a living too, right?
Yeah.
I think
You're in the
that
automotive industry.
I agree, but because I work for a Chrysler dealer, so for me, I think that most of our warranty recalls that ends up being more prominent than actually claiming warranty on a part per se. Like I'm not having cars come into my bay that are saying, I need a tie rod end warranted and trying to claim that in some way. Like engines, okay, that's a little bit different, but for me overall, it's recall, and there's no way of getting fucking around that. And you just as a tech.
Well, are we
just
talking
like,
low mileage cars? Like fairly new cars with warranty still left?
Yeah.
So have you ever said like, hey, that fucking valve cover's leaking and like pays 8/10 and it takes you 10 minutes to do?
You flip over the
You
nuts.
just take
you
the fucking,
fucking.
you take the old gasket out, you fucking chuck it on the floor and you
I'm
just
not saying it hasn't
rub some fucking doit on it, you know?
I'm not saying it hasn't happened,
Owen
but
doit.
at the same time, the honest to God's truth is because we're so backed up with the recalls,
Well, which recalls
not
are
getting
you?
the opportunity-
Which recall are you currently backed up with?
like
And-
backed up in parts or just that we're
Like
constantly
backed up,
getting
just in general. Like what's
SO8 recalls,
what's SO8?
power steering.
Power steering what? Line?
Sorry,
What are you
but
replacing?
We're replacing the lines in Dodge Journeys.
Oh,
That's the number one thing that we're doing. But honestly, it's so repetitive that you're just constantly doing it, right? Like it's just it becomes second nature. And then outside of that, we've got oil pressure sensors going in Dodge 3.6s. Anything that's a 3.6. Anything that's a 3.6.
and those for you listening can go to youporn.com.
free sex.
3 sex.
Dodge Journey, free sex.
Taking engines out while getting fucked hard at youporn.com. Girl takes dipstick in the ass hard.
Well, isn't that what air hammers are
If
for?
you're really bored with that, check out dolphin porn, just to up your game a bit. Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna admit right now, I've spent some countless nights on YouTube watching animals fuck. I have. It's funny. I love it. I just, Vicky's like, I'm out of here. I'm out.
I drove 10 hours for this.
No, I
out.
want to see where this conversation
All you
goes.
gotta do is go to Hollis and look at the farm. You're all set.
Why the farm? Just looking the fucking
there's been some-
bedroom windows.
There's been some
true.
serious times I've been on YouPorn, on YouPorn. I've been saying that shit, but on YouTube and going down dark alleys, like really late at night. Like, what the fuck am I? What am I really checking out
1
right
o'clock
now?
in the morning.
You know what I'm saying? We've all been there.
I did-
Seen some crazy shit.
The Divas I went, was David Blaine. I just started watching David Blaine the other night for no fucking
David Blaine
reason.
porn?
No, just David Blaine.
Did he like levitate his cock or something?
No,
like
just
what?
street magic.
Well, that's pretty much how we get an erection. It needs to levitate.
Right? Watch this, hands free.
My hands free isn't working anymore.
Hands free.
The sync system.
My Bluetooth.
Oh god.
Ford sync systems are fucking horrible.
Mine acts up all
horrible.
the
With
time.
them. I
Horrible.
haven't seen them or dealt with
Does
them. at all.
Mopar or Dodge have like a Bluetooth? Well, you have
Uconnect.
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 Yeah.
How is Uconnect? On a
Awful.
scale of 1 to 10,
That's
with
what I- that's
Uconnect
what-
being 10 as an excellent and 1 as absolutely sucking balls, pet my balls type shit.
I'm not even gonna blame Uconnect. I'm going to blame
People?
the radio. The radio is bad. We're replacing radios left, right, and center in all makes and models. As
Interesting.
far as, like our
Right.
our product is concerned. It's just, I think every car, especially Wranglers for some reason, that comes through the door, radio, 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 radio.
Is it because of shorts or is it?
No, it's the actual radio itself that's the problem, and we're not getting nav or we're not getting signal or something's just not connecting, so we're replacing the radios. It's gotten to the point where we're not even, putting in information to replace it under warranty. They're the Chrysler's kind of going, yeah, a radio? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll send you one.
Yeah.
You know?
AC Delco was like that, I think.
Where we're getting cracked down on other things, but it's not so much on the the radios. They're just like, yeah, who gives a shit? We know,
Yeah. Is it because they've changed them out and then they said I don't want this one anymore? They put the
I'm
fucking
personally on my second
original one
radio.
back in.
I'm on my second radio
Okay.
for my Jeep alone, like
Really?
on my own, yeah, because my Jeep stopped getting Bluetooth signal,
Sure.
it just and
The chip overheat probably.
in the journey the telematics is separate, but in the Jeep it's not. It's part of the radio. What are we doing over here?
Welcome to the show, Vicky.
Since we're talking about radios,
Is your radio in?
I feel like at some point I'm gonna hear my heart will go on.
I need my IRA to rock on this shit.
This is why we get kicked off of YouTube every week.
Yeah, baby.
Steve plays copyrighted music.
You know what? Maybe Steve is doing makeup tutorials.
I don't know what he's doing over there. He's in the zone.
I'm doing Dan's job.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to have like a
I don't like the
video of
board.
Steve just doing like a full makeup tutorial, like where the girls are like tapping their eyebrows and be like,
Yeah. That's
You actually
great.
you did that pretty well.
right? No, they tap their eyebrows. They're like, eyebrows, nose, I don't know.
What?
And I'm like, why is that a thing on, why is that a commercial for makeup? I don't understand. Or have you seen those bra commercials for the sticky bras that have the wings that hold, what? There's these bras on Instagram and Facebook and they stick to your boobs and then you use a drawstring to pull your tits together.
Yeah.
And it's just the whole Instagram commercials or the Facebook commercials are just girls that are like, hey, I don't have cleavage. Let me just stick this bra in and just jiggle my tits around and show you.
That's a lie. It's a straight up lie.
That's cheap.
I might as well shove a cucumber in my pants and just walk
You
around.
might.
Yeah, but make
or
sure.
a zucchini or a Robert Parrish.
Because
Yeah,
that's not happening.
But make sure you put it in the front, not the back, like you did last time. Okay?
Or
Yeah.
have you seen the
Like I just dropped a huge deuce.
Like a baby.
Like I spent the whole night fucking drinking tequila eating Mexican. That type of stuff.
Yeah. There was a reason why it didn't work
the
last
Instagram
weekend.
butt panties that give you extra ass.
You can't sit down.
What are you trying to say about my ass?
I think you need the butt panties.
Extra ass.
I need ass
You need
panties.
ass padding.
Now let me ask you, from a
I think he just needs ass.
female mechanic perspective, would you say that the male physical build is no ass for a mechanic, right? No ass.
A
Okay.
beer gut.
And a pot belly,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That's the male mechanic physical build, like flat as a board ass, right?
But usually,
And then a
depending
pot
on the
belly.
guy and what his specific specialty is, big shoulders and arms.
Do you think that that's like a gravity
Well,
thing
what
for
would,
being bent
what
over
would that
the car?
entail?
Right?
Like, what's big, big shoulders and arms entail
I mean, for job wise.
for tech wise? If you're going by woman thought process.
My woman thought process doesn't go much farther than hey, what's up, bud? How are you? I don't go.
No, but
into-
do you know what I'm saying? Because she
I have
just
no
said,
idea what the
No,
fuck
she
you're talking
was just
about.
saying you were talking about tech build,
All right.
flat ass, big stomach. She
Alright.
said big shoulders. So if you have big shoulders, are you lifting engines? You doing more like heavy
No,
work?
well, you're never
Like
gonna
from a
lift an
female.
engine without a jack, but
No, but from a female perspective, like why do techs have fat beer bellies and some others are fucking jacked in the shoulders? You know what I mean? Like
No,
I have a
it's
guy.
torque.
can I be perfectly
Right.
honest? I don't
Torque.
have a female perspective on that. Like when I go into the shop, I don't think like, why does this guy have a pot belly? Why does he have big shoulders? I'm not there to like, pick up dudes. I'm just sort of look at them like, hey bud, what's up? I don't think farther into it.
No,
It's
we're-
not like I'm at a bar where I'm like checking people out.
That's the problem with women. They always think that we're talking about like they're
See?
checking
no,
dudes out.
but that's not it. Like
No.
it just doesn't cross my mind. Like when you meet another dude, you're not like, why do you have built shoulders?
No,
Like,
but we were talking about builds,
Dude,
and you
you
said
work
you
out.
said shoulders and arms.
Yeah, and
So
I
I
can
didn't
see
know if you-
that.
what-
You know who has the biggest shoulders and arms? The fucking tire guys. Because
Yeah, but
they're
they
the
gotta
ones
lift
that
the
picking
shit.
up the shit.
Well, that's okay. Thank you. That's what
Yeah.
I was asking you.
Yeah.
I wasn't
I didn't know
trying
what
to
he was
get
talking
like.
about either, Vicky.
I wasn't trying to like spin it into like some.
No, I'm
you
just saying,
know.
like, I don't, like, it's just not a thought. We all have beer guts because we all drink a lot of beer. Like,
I'm just fat.
there's no skin, like, yeah, there's no skinny way of being a tech because you know at the end of the day, you're going home and have a brewski.
You have to drown your sorrow somewhere.
Absolutely.
I
don't-
didn't make my 60 this week.
I think we only ever worked with one guy that was like really physically ripped, right?
But those are
the
just
whole
guys that
department.
just love the gym.
Yeah,
like,
right.
That's just a personal
He
choice.
found
right?
Jesus in the gym. That's what that guy did. You know what I'm
How
talking
do
about.
you
I'm not
do
going to say
that?
any names.
He
but
found Jesus in the gym.
no, you remember the guy we worked with? He found Christ, right?
What?
What the
The
fuck?
guy we worked with, right?
Who?
I'm not going to say his name on the show.
I don't know. Who
Jimmy Bag of Donuts.
He got let go for changing or doing surveys on emails, dude. Come on.
Oh,
Yeah. This guy, Vicky, this guy thought the Earth was 6,000 years old. Okay, that's how deep he was in Christ. You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He was like, oh yeah, dinosaurs are in the Bible. You know?
Yeah. Now they're fucking oil.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, but he was pretty. We call
So
him.
the
we call him
Flintstones was
Gronk.
like an actual thing for him.
We call him Gronk, like Gronkowski. Yeah, he looked like Gronk.
I fucking.
Yeah.
I went.
So is he
I
sales
went
now?
face to face with Gronk one day.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You weren't there for that, were you?
Probably not.
No, you weren't. I told you about that. I was
Bullshit.
fucking pissed, dude.
Yeah.
He was a lot bigger than I am. I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, you know me, fucking rats.
Yeah.
You're a fucking rat.
I don't know what he's talking about, Vicky.
You know what I'm talking with fucking the girl, the fucking Porter girl.
I do, but no one else listening to this knows.
Who,
what the
who
fuck you're
cares?
talking
We're just talking. Not
the break room
not
going.
everybody needs to know what we're talking about
We're
all
talking
the time.
in like euphemisms. We're like,
it doesn't
there
matter.
was that thing that nobody knows about. Remember that? That was cool, right?
But you know about it, and that's all I need to go.
What
you
is
need
this?
to-
Audience of one? You know?
Not
Yes.
tonight, not tonight, fellas.
Apparently. So how many techs are in your shop, Vicky? I'm gonna.
Oh. Do I have to count them out by head?
No, just 15, 10, 20, 30.
We're in like the 25 range.
Okay, it's a big shop.
Yeah, that's a huge
And
shop.
that's
Yeah.
not including lubers. We've got 12 lubers.
Right?
Really?
Jesus.
We love the lubers.
How many? Now, like, do you go up to the
How many
advisors?
fluffers?
Do you go up to the advisors in the morning and ask how many appointments we have scheduled for today? 'Cause that was a common.
Fuck no.
Really?
I mean, we get a general gist through the day, but I mean, we can tell. I think that question comes up from somebody,
Yeah. And it
depending on
spreads the
how
shop.
packed the back lot is with
lubers.
cars that need to come in.
All I heard is the lubers and the fluffers come up with a
squirters.
gist.
You
They
said-
come up with a gist.
But you know what? Like, I have a funny story for you guys about service advisors. So we've lost quite a few recently, and then we've been trying to hire back for advisors, but we're hiring kids off the street that have never ever worked in this automotive industry.
We've talked about this
Ding
many
dong.
times.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this.
And here's the thing: I am all for, as a girl, putting a pretty girl in the service lane to generate retail, right? To if you're
Because pretty much men are stupid.
and it's not even that. It has nothing to do with that.
No,
the
it's the
fact-
straight truth, though.
It's the fact that as a female customer, you're going to walk into the service lane and you're going to feel potentially more comfortable speaking to a female than a male in that situation.
There's
If you're a
aggression.
if you're a
And then
female,
if you're a
yes,
female,
I
you
agree
might
with
feel
that.
more comfortable.
Yeah, I
doing
agree
that.
with that.
And then as a male, if she's pretty, I might want to talk to the pretty girl and spend money on her, right? Like
Right.
on what she's doing. That's the reality. It's just bullshit.
If
true.
I buy the 50K, she'll go out with me.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
real.
right.
That's real. Some people
Jesus
think that way,
Christ,
right?
Dan, it's the 100K. Jesus Christ. If you
But-
can comment, know what the fuck you're talking about.
But we've had some individuals come through that haven't really understood the industry, and if you're coming into the
You know, and
industry, you're gonna sell for
I'm
us.
sorry to cut you
Yeah.
off. I'm sorry, but
ahead.
that's what sucks for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If
You-
on the other side, on the bench, if we're not
Yes.
getting our work sold, we're about to kill you, right? Because we're
Torque
like,
and Tata is gonna fuck you up.
but we're nice about
fucking-
it. We are nice
we're gonna
about it because
fucking
we
roundhouse
understand
your
that
ass
you're
like
learning.
Patrick
But there's
Swayze.
an extent to that learning, right?
The leg.
There's an extent to that learning. But I have to say, as a female in the trade,
Have
when-
you ever like found yourself like telling advisors like what to say to people because they don't know anything? Like
I think
what
that's a staple, but there's a hope. Like a lot of good advisors that I've known have been able to understand even when I'm explaining to them. Like they already know the basics. So when I say this specifically needs to get done and this is why, they can fully comprehend that and be like, okay, I can repeat that. Or they'll even write down notes to sell the work, right? But I'm talking not about them, but about the ones that are just coming in. And like the funny story for me is we had a female recently that didn't make it more than a week, and one of her first comments to one of the older techs was, he went to give her a high five and she goes, "Oh no, I'm a germaphobe and you're dirty. If you're walking into the automotive industry and calling the techs dirty and refusing to give them a high five, you're not going to make it very far, because this is just how we are. We don't have that option from 9 to 5. We're covered in grease, and if we don't get all the grease off between jobs, well, fuck, who cares, right?
Right.
I would never turn down a high five, ever.
Even a greasy like high five.
We've taken a lot worse. That's for sure. Yeah. You know?
I'm just not like that. I was a tech, so
Yeah, right.
my hands, after I stopped wrenching, I had permadirt in my fucking fingers for 2 years. It took 2 years for it to go away.
Really?
Yep.
My wife's like that with hair color. It gets like embedded in her fingernails.
You ever get in the right lighting and you see your hands and all the scars and all the shit?
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
you can see it like
Oh,
really
yeah.
thick on my hands, but the nails I scrub.
Yeah, you get under some, like, you're in some bathroom at some, like, takeout place, right? And you get in that fluorescent lighting there, and you can just see every little abrasion your digits have ever suffered, you know?
I used to pound in nails with my hands. That's how, like, you know.
Yeah.
Not anymore, dude. That'd hurt.
You ever shake someone's hand and it's like a man's hand is like baby soft, and you can tell they've never done a hard day's
And they
labor
give you,
ever.
like, the wimpiest
The
handshake
dead
ever.
fish. Yeah.
Oh,
But I will
dead
say you
fish.
don't have to have hard calluses on your hands to pull a wrench. Like I don't have hard calluses on mine, but I've got like slag burns.
I'm
and
willing.
cuts.
I'm willing to bet you use some sort of like apricot or like blueberry hand lotion, some
I don't-
scent.
I don't get my nails done. I don't do any of that.
There's
crap.
how about we make fucking hand lotions for female technicians? Have it smell like diff fluid. Rear diff. Like
Coolant.
it's so sweet. Dude, I don't know about you, Vicky. There's no fluid on the place on the face of this planet that smells worse than fucking rear diff, burned up this nasty rear diff fluid, dude. There's nothing, Joel. There's nothing worse than that.
I don't
My-
know. I would say
There's
like some
nothing-
burned up, disgusting, like oil, like or water filled, like really like explosive tranny fluid is pretty bad.
Oh, what
like
kind of tranny, dude?
Like Caitlyn
62
Jenner
TV.
fluid? Are we
Like-
talking Caitlyn Jenner gist?
when you like sometimes when you open that pan, you're just like you can smell it across the room.
Yeah, but you can also open up a rear end and smell it across the room.
Yeah, I agree. It,
They
it
don't
goes
call it
both
a
ways.
fucking rear end for
But
a
I can
reason.
say that I've
It's
probably
called
smelled
rear
more
end.
tranny
It
fluid
is called
part
rear
than
end for a
diffs.
reason. There's a reason it's called rear end. It
Yeah.
fucking stinks.
Yeah.
It does.
I've been in some cars, just the interior is fucking
No,
wretched.
that's a whole. Well,
Like
Oh.
we had I was a Ford tech, and we had a E350 come in, and it was like the lady had like 9 kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just smelled like baby throw up and rotten milk and
Milk,
diapers, and it was so bad that you had to test drive like your head out the window.
No, I
Like
had a
fucking Ace
customer-
Ventura.
Yeah, everybody knew that van too. They called it like the Babymobile. So like as soon as that thing came out, like, oh fuck, dude, you got the Babymobile. And you're like,
Spin the wheel.
and like you're new. You're like, what?
you know what? I would take the Babymobile over 2 things.
Trash trucks.
Trash. Like I've had a car and it was a shitty like Volkswagen Golf, and like there was so much garbage in that car that it was up to the windows. Like you could not
yeah,
open
some
the
hoarder
passenger.
shit.
It was hoarder, like
Right,
next
right.
level.
Yeah.
Like we told the guy, like, you have to go and clean your car out, or we cannot work on it.
Right.
It's physically impossible for us to get to where we need to be with that amount of shit in your car. And then the other one was, I cannot stand the stink of like cigarette ash.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
when it's like, so it's not, I'm not talking about a little cigarette butt like in a can, like that sucks or whatever. It's when the ash is so thick that it's running down the door well, and it's like 3 or 4 inches of ash inside the door. That
And it's humid as fuck out,
ooh.
and it's like, ugh.
Or dog stink.
Yeah.
I can kind of handle dog stink, but when it's so bad,
Dog and smoke at the same time.
ooh. Nope.
With the milk, fuck it.
Vicky, I want to ask you a question. If you get a car that you work on, and it has a black ice air freshener hanging, what would you automatically think the
Douchebag.
car would smell like?
It smells like Guido and Jersey Shore douchebag.
and right, Joel.
What substance may it possibly have experienced in its interior
With the black
during
ice
its
air.
use?
Are you saying that we need a black light for the black ice?
Maybe, but what
I don't know, but
what illicit substance?
If
may
she
have been,
if she is a fan as she claims to be and drove down here for God knows how long,
Well, I haven't-
she would technically know. If she listened to the show, she would know the answer to the
I don't
question.
know the answer to
this
this
is
question.
hardcore Sam trivia.
This is
I don't think you can quiz me. I'm not even a fan, you guys.
I don't know what Dan's doing right now. Yeah, Vicky's here for her own enhancement, not our.
Oh, well, quick plug. Quick plug.
Vicky, where can they check you out?
Vicky, how can the listeners on everything?
On
What are you
anything.
about? Sell yourself. What are you about?
Sell myself. That sounds so dirty.
No, because you brought it that way.
It is
Better
now.
that way. It's better dirty.
It was clean till now.
No, I do this whole wrench for a cure type of thing where I work on cars, post shit about cars, trying to build my rig up for breast cancer and women in the skilled trades, trying to show that we can do our own thing and still be feminine, just sort of be different. And yeah, no, I don't know your trivia because I have no idea what you're
No,
talking
just
about.
keep talking.
Talking about what?
What you were
This?
just talking-
With
what
the
you were
Vanna
about.
White in the background? Like,
yeah.
Oh my
Where
God.
can our listeners catch you?
Yeah, where
can we
are
follow
you at?
you?
I'm better at Instagram because, sorry guys, I kind of suck at Facebook.
Okay, so we follow you on Instagram. At what handle?
At Vicki.C.Hemi.
There you go. Are you on Twitter or YouTube?
No, I haven't gotten that far yet.
Are you on
Okay.
Stitcher?
I honestly haven't been doing this that long, guys. I'm trying to keep up to
I have
Service
it.
Advisor Max, but I've only been doing this
Sure.
for like since May, and
Okay.
it's August.
It's
the
like
beginning of
it's like
August.
another park. It's like another job.
Yeah, it is.
Seriously.
And honestly, I'm not as good with social media as I thought I was, and I'm trying to keep up. But
Sure.
I started with Instagram, and I'm slowly trying to branch off into other forms of social media. But I'm not there
Instagram's
yet.
hot right now, so.
It's easier.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to branch out and talk to people through Instagram than it is any other form of social media. And like you said, Facebook's picky, and I can't.
It's okay.
I don't know what to post on Facebook. Like it's not direct. Like I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not showing people things. I don't really.
Just post fake news and you're all set.
Okay.
Yeah.
Today in the loop lane.
Yeah.
Fake news.
Yeah, that's what Facebook's all about now. Facebook, fake news and fucking liberal bullshit.
Well, at the end of the day, Instagram's
Maybe on
all
your
about
feed, bro.
Instagram's all about what looks and selling and parts and
Duck lips.
duck lips.
boobs,
Should I post more duck lip
ass.
pictures? Is that a thing?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry.
apparently.
No, don't do that. don't do that.
X-Day the
What's worse has been when men do.
You know what
duck face.
Instagram's about? I'm going to tell you what Instagram's about. Instagram's about following a bunch of people, right? And then you get them to follow, they follow you, and then you dump their ass. That's what we run into. Like, like we'll get like 30 new likes, and it's like half of them are fake Chinese accounts and some
Yeah.
horse shit, right? And they want you to go like them, and then they dump your ass.
If
and
you
then-
don't like them.
And then
Yeah.
they sell
That's like
the
a big
account.
child game.
Then they sell
Yeah.
these like 100,000 follower accounts or whatever to some
Ours
sap. out
are
there.
all organic.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Yeah.
organic means nobody paid anything to find you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people stick with it. They stick with it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, we got to
It's
10.
best to
We
say.
got to 10K pretty quick, and like since then it's been like really hard to like gain more
We
followers.
started putting more questionable shit on there.
Well, I've been pretty stagnant for the last like month, I would say. I haven't really gone up or down or anything. But that being said, I've been injured, right? So I haven't been able to post much.
If I was a woman, I wouldn't be stagnant. I go up and down as much as I can.
Was that a work-related injury, Vicky?
No,
No, it was not.
That's just me.
no. it
You
was-
didn't try
I told her that. I was chit-chatting with her the other night. I said, if I was a girl, I'd be fucking blowing everybody. That's just big guy.
You didn't try to ride the workers' comp train into the rocks. You know what I mean? You weren't like, oh yeah, the fucking tranny fell on my my fucking
Caitlyn
my
Jenner.
hock, my heel. You know?
No, it was something that was so old that I had to leave the bench to get it fixed. Otherwise, I couldn't work anymore.
Yeah.
It was a sports injury that was from like high school, and this is
Jesus.
the third go round of surgery on that ankle.
What sport?
It's a mixture of basketball and track and field.
Some Canadian sport.
Yeah, that.
What,
Fucking,
Is it
we
called
do the
track ball?
north.
Tell me it's
Track
called
ball.
track ball.
what's it?
Toronto.
Is it called lacrosse?
That is our national sport. Actually, it's not hockey. Lacrosse.
Get out.
So
Track and field
What's
basketball.
it called? Is it called track ball?
what?
Yeah, what's the
Track and field
basketball and
basketball.
track and
What the
field?
fuck?
No, it's two different things. It's not
I
together.
pic-
They're two
this is
different
okay.
separate things.
This is what I picture.
Did you hear that?
I picture a man running with a basketball. Okay, jumping over hurdles.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm with you.
and he's got a javelin, like, and then he throws the javelin while he's running the basketball, and then he's got those poles that they pole vault. So he pole vaults over, and then he shoots the hoop.
And he dunks
And if
it?
you miss, you get no points.
I thought he would
You
throw
know,
the
that's what I
basketball
think.
and then throw
That's
the
all I
javelin to
heard.
try to puncture the basketball. Like it's like a skeet shoot too, as part of it.
Oh, they're throwing the javelin at it, like from a
At
distance.
the basketball while they're hurdling.
That sounds like some Canuck shit.
Yeah.
No, when I
Definitely.
was like a young.
That's like sweeping ice, right?
When I was a young Canuck.
Yeah, when I was a young Canuck, a real young hoser there, right? I came down to the States for basketball camp, and
Yeah, that's good shit.
and I was in Chicago, Illinois, and I was wearing those Kobe Bryant shoes. You know that basketball player.
Dude,
from
I'm
the
telling you, the
Lakers, eh?
Spreewell threes.
Yeah, I was
I like
wearing
the
those
French
basketball
accent.
shoes, and I just ate the floor, eh? I just hosed her face first into the floor.
Can skate but can't run.
Yeah.
This is going to be us asking a bunch of
Fucking
ignorant
Canadians.
American Canadian jokes, like things like, "Do you like the new Red Green
That's
show?
not actually-
Do you watch the new Red Green show? What'd you think about that scene when you
Actually,
made the waffle
you know-
maker with the?
Do you know who else was from fucking Canada?
Tom Green.
Tom Green.
You know, fuck Tom Green. Kids in the Hall. Fuck yourself. Kids in the Hall.
Kids in the Hall.
Over.
rules, dude, yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Kids in the Hall. Done.
Yep.
Jim
was the-
Carrey, Mike Myers.
Yeah.
I think Tom Green's
You
best
can
thing
have
was.
Justin Bieber. We don't want him back.
I don't want that fuck.
Kids in the Hall shut down any sketch comedy
Oh, yeah,
ever
dude.
for the history.
Oh no, I love.
Oh fuck yeah. Dave
Yeah.
Foley's a genius.
He's all, yeah, I like
Yeah,
him.
right? Oh,
he's
yeah.
good.
Shit's over.
He was just on that Gong show. He was funny as shit.
George St Pierre.
Yeah, he's a badass fucker.
Yeah.
Tom
I'd
Clancy.
still,
I don't
I'd
know.
still
It's made
take
up.
the fucking Irishman there. He's gonna fight. I'm drawing blanks. Big time.
Derpader.
Yeah. Who's,
This is why Dan's the programmer. Dan, you know when the
him and fucking Money Mayweather are
when
gonna
the
fight.
when the
McGregor.
when the first time visitors going
Honest-
derper to you.
I'd take Conor McGregor over George St Pierre any day.
I honestly like. I gotta root for George St Pierre.
I know.
Always got to. Just a Canadian thing, but honestly, UFC's really died off for us. Like we still watch it, but it's so down the list now
Yeah.
of things. Me, I've moved on to WWE Total Divas. That came back for me. That came back because
You
of
know,
that show Total Divas.
I was
Yeah.
totally Facebooking old school WWF shit today. I was
Yeah.
like this morning. I woke up at 5 and I watched WWF wrestling for like an hour and a half.
Shit me not. Every time I
At 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know. Like that's pretty. I don't know. My life, I think, it's either really good that I can do that, or it's really fucking
It is.
pathetic.
It is good.
That I woke up at 5 and I was watching like WWF.
Hogan.
I'm like, yeah, Iron Sheik
Oh my god.
and like Captain Lou Albano and
Total
shit.
Beware.
Yeah, the fuck. Like all of Bret the Hitman Hart and like the Big Boss Man, King Kong Bundy, dude. You know what I'm talking about?
Remember the barber guy? What was his name? He cut the people's hair and shit.
Oh yeah,
Shit, what
Jimmy
was his name?
Superfly Snuka.
Yeah. Oh god. Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
I'm so sorry, Vicky, that you got.
Sorry. No, so
Plug
back to
into
this
this.
diva thing. So whenever I watch TV and I go through the channels and I
Which
hit,
is often.
and I hit WWE
When he's
like on
nude.
Monday Night Raw, it's always fucking divas.
I
Always.
love them.
So,
I idolize them. I don't even give. I'm way too old
One
to
of my-
be back
one of
in
my-
WWE, but I don't give a
actually,
shit. It's so good.
One of my friends,
but even like an
Susanna,
hour
wrestles.
later,
And I'll give her a shout out. I think it's cool. Like
Who?
my friend Susanna on Facebook she's a friend of mine. She wrestles, like legit wrestles.
Yeah,
That's what we're talking
that's
about.
amazing because
Yeah.
those are my girls. Like that's why for me, like growing up, I didn't have anybody to idolize. But when I see the WWE Total Divas, that is what I aspire. Not what I aspire to be a wrestler, but it's the only thing I can look at that's on television right now that is sort of similar to having that working in a male-dominated industry. And then being feminine and girly. But the only difference is in that industry it's accepted and pushed to be sexy and to be all these things. Whereas in this one I'm almost hated on for it. It's not acceptable socially.
I have a question for you. If you were a female wrestler and you had to create a character, and it have to be based off of automotive, what would your wrestling stage name be based off automotive? Like your name, like some diva name or whatever. What would be your like wrestling WWF like superstar? But you're playing the character
Like the,
of
like
a
the female version of like
technician.
Scotty Too Hottie is what you're saying.
Right, but like a
Trish
female
Stratus,
technician. So
yeah.
like, what would be your like wrestling name off of that scenario?
I think
can't
she's
even-
already got it.
I don't even know if I do, to be honest.
No,
that's a
what-
really that's a deep question.
Torque&Tatas.
Well, Torque&Tatas is that's what I
That's
do.
your brand.
All right, well, so you can maybe incorporate Tatas
I think my
into
team
wrestling.
though would be like how they have like the all-female team. My team could maybe be
No, but what would be
Torque&Tatas.
your wrestling name? Like there was like
But it,
Stone
like-
Cold Steve Austin.
Liquid
My
Thunder.
name's already Vicki.C.Hemi, so I
Yeah,
would
but
feel
the
like I
chicks-
would just go along with something along those lines, right?
Yeah,
so
but
Like
chicks
Miss
don't
Miss.
do the names.
Here comes Miss Ratchet,
So if you leave,
Mrs.
so if you left Mopar, right?
Mrs. 10mm socket.
and I'm not even gonna say that I'm gonna spend my career with Mopar, and if
If
any
you
of my
look-
followers hear this, like you have to go where the money is, and like that's
You have
reality.
to be diverse.
You have to be, and like ultimately, if you want to be a good tech, you can't just stick to one brand. Like like growing up in my career, I was not just a Mopar mechanic. I've only been a Mopar mechanic for 2 years.
So if you left Mopar though, would you leave the Hemi or would you change it to
I don't know.
Duramax?
I just like the way it sounds, right? Like it goes with my name, kind of.
Yeah.
So it just makes sense for me.
Sure.
And I like that doesn't make me love Mopar or
Well, the
anything less.
hemispherical combustion chamber is translates over to different brands too, right?
Oh, absolutely,
Sure, there you go.
absolutely.
Sure.
Like that
Just not
that
the brand.
emblem at the time when the Hemi came out, it was a big thing. But like now, it's not.
Right.
It crosses over even to IV Tech, like things like that. It's the same sort of concept. It's just a different layout.
Now, have you always been into cars, or did you do other jobs before this?
Growing up, I was not into cars. I was not introduced to cars until I always liked wheeling. Like I always liked 4x4, so I
Right
was
on.
constantly out in the mud and playing with the trucks and stuff like
Right on.
that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until university that I was in university taking like my BA.
Dan likes mud too, but in a whole like another way.
Yeah, I was
Like
taking
I
my
think there's a ring involved. I don't know. It's just some shit was telling me the other night.
I was taking my BA and I got
badass.
bored in the classes, like university classes. Like, to be a psychology major, you must take theater class. Fucking why? Why is that a thing?
You had to
So-
take theater class for automotive.
Yeah, and human sexuality. No, not for automotive.
no.
When I was in university.
Oh, what?
Just
Oh, it's
general
like,
studies.
Just
oh, all
general-
right.
yeah,
I was like, what
general
the
study.
fuck does that have to do with anything?
And-
That's like how I feel like taking my test. Like, why
I
do I
didn't
know
have to
this
take
shit?
theater bullshit.
Yeah, so by the time I was done, like automotive, when I was done my first year of university, I was kind of like, Bill, this is shit. And why do all the guys in the trades building that on my campus have like jacked up trucks and money in their pockets? I want to fucking do that. And out of the list of like hundreds of trades, skilled trades that there are, the only one that I personally identified with was automotive service. Little did I know what I was getting myself into.
Yeah, the boys club.
The boys club wasn't the problem. The boys club has never been a problem. I grew up a tomboy. Like I had the bowl cut for the longest time, where like people
Like
used to
the Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah, for
From
sure.
Dumb and
Like I
Dumber?
literally, that was what my hair was, and that's why probably why I overcompensate now.
Probably a
for
good thing you don't
femininity.
have that hair anymore.
No, that's probably why I do as much overcompensation with the feminine look now, is because I was such a tomboy.
I
as
cut
a
my
kid.
ball hairs like that. It's like the straight, like.
Just the ball, like just the Dumb and Dumber look.
bowl
Yeah,
cut.
I bowl cut my pube hairs.
Oh, that's great.
Sorry, this is what happens. Sorry.
I don't even know these guys, Vicky. I just come by once a week, you know.
Long story short, I ended up switching to automotive service, and that's what got me into this. And it's been 10 years, but I haven't worked in the trade that whole 10 years.
Dan's got to go home in his wrestling mud pit and bowl cut his ball
I gotta see
hairs.
what these people are saying.
Oh shit.
Oh, you can't check the comments here. That's a no-no. Because now you're gonna influence your rest of your conversation here.
No, there's no comments to do that.
I'm sorry. I know we scared everybody away.
With the bowl cut.
Let's well, we have a unique opportunity here, guys. So let's try to keep it on topic and talk to her about maybe some differences that you see up in Canada market with cars versus American stuff, right? Like
I honestly don't know the American market.
Well, we
like,
might be able to help.
It's definitely different.
Yeah, what's I don't know. I'm trying to think of some things. I mean, Steve's still in the industry. I've been out about 6 months now, but there's got to be some differences, like in terms of even people's
Kilometers?
No, but like you know,
The car is still the same. People across the border, like
We just
it
don't
doesn't
know.
change.
Like, I don't know what
No, it's not.
but like
kilometers and liters and like.
I'm trying to talk here, and you guys keep over talking, so I think we're gonna need one talk at a time, okay? Yeah. All right. So like, what I'm thinking is like and
Joel just.
you're just talking over me.
I
There it
know.
goes.
I'm sorry, but you got a little cunty there.
No, I'm just saying that
just
like people listen to this thing. We've got like 8 people talking at the same time. Just trying to reel it in here a little bit. All right. I know everybody's excited.
Pick
you
a
know?
topic.
Yeah. So, like for example, like the American economy right now is driven by like people being afraid of like Trump and North Korea and all this shit. And I'm like, you guys probably obviously
North
don't
Korea?
have that really. Yeah.
No.
Like North Korea's gonna like
That just-
allegedly
that
nuke
just-
our ass like that. So everybody's like
I
afraid
don't.
of
I
shit.
can't speak for all Canadians, but that kind of just seems silly.
Right. Yeah. So like a lot of our media and things are news and outlets and shit are driving people so decisions either to buy things or not buy things based on fear. But I don't think, maybe I'm speaking out of ignorance here, but I don't think you see that as much in Canada, right? Where like you guys kind of are always like kind of chill, like it's always like, yeah, what the fuck, we're Canada, dude. We're not gonna go like start a war with Iran.
We're
or
not
some
even
shit.
like that with
you know?
each other. Like obviously, like we all hate each other equally when it comes to like personal bullshit. But the reality of it is like it's not something we talk, like it's not as prominent in Canada as it is in the United States. We're all pretty generically like, hey bud, you're Canadian, I'm Canadian, that's cool. Like that's about as far as our thought process goes. So we're not feared into that kind of stuff. We're just sort of like, we're Canada, we're chilling up here, we're playing hockey,
right.
we're drinking beer, like that's what it is.
I'm just wondering if that translates into the vehicle success, because like I think a lot of times here, like we'll make a recommendation as an advisor, be like, yeah, you need $650 worth of stuff, and people are like, oh, dude, I don't know if North Korea is going to blow my fucking asshole out next week. So what the hell? I don't know if I want to do that, but like I don't think you would run into that as
If
much.
you could see my eyes right now, the way I'm looking at you, like, what?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's how some
Right.
of us feel though in the country, like dealing with this stupid
Everyone's
bullshit.
like, what's Trump going to do?
Yeah,
I don't
it's-
know.
It's
Like,
taken
yeah,
over
they're
our
scared.
thought process. It's awful.
There's a lot of fear-driven like financial
I
decisions
can't
here.
even comprehend that as a Canadian.
That's interesting. That's
like I
fascinating.
can't even understand.
I wish I
at
could be
all.
that way.
Every single news that we have down here is Trump did this, Trump did that, blah 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 blah. North Korea, fucking Russia, like that's. I've turned it off. Like on me personally, I don't give a
Well,
fuck.
don't get it
right?
twisted. We get that news up in Canada too.
But you
even
probably
on
get the
Canadian
honest
news.
version. You probably get the real version, right?
That's a whole other debate.
Yeah, right, exactly. But I'm talking about in terms of like the success in making a recommendation as a technician and the advisor's ability to sell that job. Like there's probably got to be a disparity because of, that.
I think that overall, when
Is
you're
your
getting
success
into the-
rate higher? Like if you make a recommendation as a technician, right? Let's say it's $300, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your success rate? Like if you said, hey, it needs front brakes. Like is it 1
Can
out
I
of 5, 1
can
out
I
of
give
2?
you like
Yeah.
a generalization because I've come from an open shop as opposed to like a dealership. At an open shop, I would say the success rate's a lot higher than at the dealership for
Interesting.
upsells.
Okay.
Because at the open shop, like I said, I've told you guys before, Canadian Tire, which is our major brand of like automotive tire shops, and they're also like a store. So it would be like going to a major hardware store that's just like hardware, housewares, paints, whatever, what have you. But it's not like Home Depot. I don't know if you have that, Rona, Home Depot. So for that, like at places that are mostly CP, you're seeing older vehicles, a lot more maintenance that needs to be done to them. I think you have a higher chance of upsell. Not all the time, but generally you have that chance because your labor rate's lower, your parts cost is lower. Whereas at the dealer, you might be paying like $30, $40, $50 more for just labor alone, let alone OE parts, which I'm pretty sure Canada to the United States, the OE price of parts doesn't change that much. Like there isn't much of a differentiation.
If it's okay, I'd like Joel's okay if I talk.
Yeah.
I don't want. Can I talk?
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure we're good. If I interject off what she's saying. So in that case, if you're, I think this is where dealerships come into play if they're charging more than the competition. They're relying on their service advisors to actually do the job correctly, take care of the customers, and just be a good service advisor. But that's where a lot is lacking, in my opinion. That's where the dealers get burned because you're hiring these people, like we talked about earlier,
Kids.
that don't have any fucking experience in the automotive industry, but because they waited tables at fucking Applebee's or
Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons. Everything is just Tim Horton reference in Canada. I don't know anything else in Canada, but you know what I mean, like
We have Starbucks.
because that doesn't work. That doesn't cut it. And Joel and I have been talking about this for a very long time. You got to pay to get. You got to pay to get fucking what is needed to be done. If you want your customers taken care of, hire a good advisor and pay them fucking $75+ a year. That's what you got to do.
The reality of it is, how many? Like, I don't know about the United States, and this is kind of going a little bit sideways of the topic that we were originally talking about.
No, go wherever you want to go.
But the problem is I don't know about the United States, but there's this. I think as North Americans in general, again, Canada, the U.S. isn't that far different, other than maybe political standpoints and where your backgrounds are coming from. But we're pumping out a bunch of kids who have an expectation that they're going to make a whole shit ton of money coming out of high school, going into colleges and like, I'm going to get a university degree. I don't think that as North Americans, we're prepared to do that kind of work. And they're willing to take anybody off the street that's willing to work that job because so many of the millennials aren't. If that makes sense?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
millennials hate cars and anything.
It's not just cars, it's
mechanical.
labor. So
Yeah.
even just to sit in a service lane and
Exactly.
sell work.
Yeah, but that's what we've also talked about that too, Joel and Dan.
Yeah.
That I just lost my fucking train of thought.
Well,
Damn it.
here in the United States, we want
I hate when that fucking happens.
We want that. This is probably the largest country in the world where there's a amount of people that feel like disenfranchised wannabe millionaires. Okay, I've been fortunate to travel the globe a lot, and I say it humbly. I've been to about 35 countries. You go to the rest of the planet, and everyone's like, "I'm just going to be a farmer and tend to this half acre.
Yeah.
I'm good." Right in America.
Why do you think in high school, like a 17-year-old boy, where do they get the, I guess, thought that, oh, I should have $250 Air Jordans?
Because it's shown to us because it's consumerism.
Right, exactly. And
It's,
that
it's to
is what
perpetuate-
kills, like, we're not saying that that's killing the economy, but at the same turn, if we're pumping out kids with these high expectations to become the next, billionaire investor or entrepreneur, there may not be room for that.
Because that pursuit, that chase of becoming the billionaire leads to, like I said, consumerism. So if you eliminate that and saying, instead you're preaching, be content with what you have.
Yeah.
Right? And that it's okay to have a quarter acre and a house that's 1,100 square feet and have a 10-year-old car. That's totally cool and normal, right? If we preach that, they're not going to go buy 100-inch TVs, iPhone 8s, all this other
Yeah, but
horseshit.
they are buying that
I'm
shit too.
completely willing to smash the idea that as in the automotive industry or any blue collar job for that matter, that we're uneducated or we're stupid. If anything, we're goddamn smart.
In the
a
next few
sense,
years,
where-
they're saying blue collar jobs all around, like automotive technicians. We've talked about this too. Like any blue collar job, HVAC, electrical shit, that's gonna be gone in like 6 years. because nobody nobody wants to
There's
do
a
it.
600,000 shortage.
no training
of
for it
mechanics.
These
Well, why
these-
do you like? I don't know about you, but
these
in
up-and-coming
Canada, we have
kids
a
don't
high,
want that.
but not a high level of immigration. It's still hard to immigrate to Canada, even as an American. Like, if you want an American and you want to become a Canadian citizen, you're looking at years to become a Canadian.
Did you see
citizen.
all those people flee over to you guys when Trump got elected? Like they're like, I'm leaving if Trump's. You saw this.
Oh yeah.
They crashed our server, our government websites.
You crash him in.
Trying to look up how to Google how to move to Canada.
They're still here though, right? You know, all those like actresses and celebrities are like, if Trump wins, I'm moving to Canada.
Yeah, Rosie
Well, you're
O'Donnell's still
you're
fucking
still here. You know,
flubbing around.
you're still here.
What a fat fuck.
You know,
But what my what my family's point on that was, well, what makes you fucking think we'll take you?
right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you guys closed your borders to us.
Why
we
not
didn't close
Mexico?
our borders to you.
Yeah.
You were the ones that said we don't want Canadians over here without a passport when we used to be able to drive over with a freaking driver's
oh shit,
license.
yeah. I mean,
Yep.
this,
It was America that shut us off, not the other way around. And I'm not saying any hate towards Canada. Or
I
the
used to
United
just go
States,
drive up to
but-
Canada like randomly.
Yeah,
You'd
you
be
could
like,
you could cross the
Oh,
border
yeah.
with a driver's
Yeah.
license, and now
Yeah.
it was the U.S. that said no,
Yeah.
we're not allowing Canadians in without a passport.
Yeah.
You know what is weird about Canada when you go up there though is if you have like a DWI you can't get in. They don't want any.
That goes both ways.
They don't want any fucking riffraff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like even if you had a DWI or like any felony.
If you got caught with pot, you're not allowed to go in the States.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's bizarre.
and to us, like, having, like, I know that here in the States it's a bigger deal, but here in Canada it's sort of like a slap on the wrist. It's not.
What, pot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
It should be.
Yeah, like
It's common.
we have like weed marches and stuff like
Yeah.
that where we'll be like hundreds of people deep in a gigantic smoke cloud, and the cops just stand there and chill and don't bug us.
Yeah,
at all.
but in
Yeah, right.
America,
Because they're
what we
high
do-
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cops are probably high.
But in America,
No, but
we-
they've got to
we
go
give
through
you the-
rigorous drug tests too, right? Like a lot.
What, the cops?
Yeah, government. Anything government, you're going through regular drug testing.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do if you're at a fucking hemp rally?
And you get piss tests for work up there too, right? Like here.
Well, it's outdoors and ventilated.
If you
so
become a
it's-
tech, you're getting piss tests for weed up there.
Oh no.
Or? Really?
I want to, Vicky, as a
I know.
Government is different. Like if you're getting into
I have
a
a
government
question.
mechanic job,
Every dealer
then
here
yes.
drug tests you. Every
Absolutely
dealership.
not. No.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's a.
That's a violation of our rights.
Vicky,
That's wild.
what's one of the worst like service advice you recommend work? What's one of the worst like excuses you've heard from a service advisor that didn't sell the work and you know they didn't try? You know when they come out like and bullshit you? What's the worst shit you've ever heard?
That they bullshit me that I couldn't like.
No, like
I
a
couldn't do
advisor
the
couldn't
work?
do it.
The advisor.
try.
What was the advisor's excuse for not selling work?
The worst one. It's not even. It's so dumb it hurts.
Let's hear it.
I was trying to do like rad flush, something stupid, like just a coolant flush. And it was, wait, what's the purpose of coolant? Like, what does it do? I'm like, what do you mean, what does it do? And she's like, well, I was trying to talk to the customer about it, but then I forgot what coolant did. And I'm like, I don't even know what to respond to this right now. Like, like I said, it's so simple.
Right.
As somebody in this industry.
She said it. The first 4 letters. Cool.
Yes. No, I know. But when you're trying to explain to somebody that's never worked in the industry, it's sort of like, I don't know what to. I can't respond to you right now. I just need to walk away.
There definitely tends to seem to be a
How is she employed?
well, there's a paradigm shift like we've talked about maybe off the air was, you know, a lot of these dealerships want to get people that are used to making $20,000 a year and give them $35,000 a year, and they think it's great, but they're totally
Well, that's where
green.
you're reaching into like the up and coming millennials, because if you're like
But that's what I'm-
between the ages of 19 and like say 23, 50 grand might be like, ooh, that's a lot
Well,
of
that's
fucking
what I'm
money.
saying about immigration in the States. Like, I know a lot of you are not letting in immigration as much right now with everything.
Well,
that's
not
going
me,
on.
but maybe our
Not you
our
specifically. I'm
government.
like, as Americans, you're not necessarily letting in as many immigrants as.
We have
Fucking all for
we
it.
have a really strong immigration policy up in the 603 studios.
Yeah, we do.
But for us, a lot of the number one way to get your immigration status, no matter what country you're from, is to work in the skilled trades, to work in the automotive industry. Like, I know guys that are automotive engineers that are working as auto mechanics just to become citizens, because engineers, that's full. We got enough engineers. We don't need those. But we
Right,
need
right.
mechanics. So if you go work and become a lubler at Canadian Tire or Mr. Lube or whatever, what have you, that's that's a reason for us to keep you as a Canadian and for you to become a Canadian citizen because we don't have enough blue-collar workers.
I'll tell you what, if you go onto any of the job sites, I'm not going to advertise any on the show, but if you go there and you type in automotive, look at how many anybody listening to the show, go do that. Go type in automotive in your area and look how many technician jobs are available versus like advisor, director, any other fixed operations position. I mean, it's insane.
One thing about this industry is you will always be employed.
Right.
There is never a time where you can say, no, I'm not employable because...
Well, for now, I do have a thing about that, and people think I'm crazy when I talk about my electric automated car future.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I've had some people criticizing me online this week because I made some comments about that. In 10 years, the cars will be, majority of them be electric. Right?
Well, what happened with...
I mean, I agree with that.
I do agree with it to an extent.
Right.
The only extent that I have is that when we tried to make belted transmissions, did we not? Like
CVT. Yeah.
But it was like sort of on the same premise as like a snowmobile.
Right.
But the problem was for Americans, being Canada and the United States, I'm saying like as North Americans, we have a need as a society for cars that rumble. We have that need to
But they
feel
make that fake sound.
Right, we need that. They couldn't make that sell.
Who doesn't like that?
Because we didn't have that pop in the sound of our vehicles. And that's the only problem with going electric is, there's a bunch of people that are against, emissions and all that stuff. And I completely agree with that. But I think on average, we're still not going to get rid of the turbochargers and speedy, everything.
Gas-powered vehicles.
It's not just gas. It's so many other
or
fuels.
oil power.
They'll allow all of that stuff, but they'll charge you $4,000 a month to drive that car, right? And BMW already pumps in the fake sound of the motors and things like that on like their M5s, M6, all that shit. They put in the fake stuff. But here's what and we've talked about this on the show, so I apologize to anybody listening that this is a repeat. But like I say, and it's a fact that like within 10 years, the majority of passenger cars, your common shitbox sedan coupes, are going to be electric, right? 0 to 60 in 2.3. What more do you want, right?
And well, what kind of cars are these going to be? Are they going to be like high
Corollas?
Tech? Like high tech, like
Can I ask?
futuristic? Or is it going to be like a 1988 Accord, like
No, it'll be like
traveling through space?
It'll be like a Prius,
Or
right?
it's like a site.
I got a question.
It's an 81
as a
site,
Canadian.
like an 81 citation pulls up on your what you're saying. Would you get in that thing? You'd be like, oh fucking, I'll let it go. I'll just wait till the next one comes by.
Well, I've got
Do you know what I mean?
I've got a
Well, look at the
question as a
Tesla 3
Canadian.
Series.
That's
It's
what I was going to say.
35 grand.
Tesla, here in the States, what are your laws about Tesla?
In what regard?
For us, if you own a Tesla, there is no tax break.
We get tax break
On Tesla.
for fully electric
The
vehicles.
people that are buying a Tesla
And
aren't looking
hybrids.
for a tax break. They don't give a fuck. They already
No,
got
no.
enough tax breaks.
That's why
right?
we do not give them one.
Yeah. They're not. They're your engineer types. Your
Right.
high C personalities. They're people that have enough means. But 35 grand. I mean, a new Accord is that. A loaded Camry is that. A Kia Sedona tricked out is probably that, right?
More than that.
A Nissan
45.
Altima. I mean, pick
Yeah.
what you want. That's an average price of a car is about $35,000 for a luxury.
A
No, not
Camry.
even a luxury sedan, but a loaded sedan.
Camry, yeah.
So further than that, so let's say in 10 years, a majority of the cars are electric. Now you don't have coolant, right? You don't have power steering, you don't have transmission fluid. You have a lot of the fluids go away, right? So what do you have left to sell? Well, you have brakes. Well,
Do you honestly think, though, like, I'm
Tires.
asking as a question, just
Okay.
generically, do you honestly think that we can get the kind of power that we get out of a gasoline engine in an electric engine? That's going to
2.3.
last long enough. That's going to last long enough to keep us going across the span of the countries that we live in.
I think the technology will catch up with it. 100
I
years,
agree,
right,
because
100
they're
years
putting-
Not
putting in
anytime soon.
Yeah, they're putting in charging stations. But those charging stations, even with a Tesla, like, I have to stop 3 or 4 times and charge up for a couple of hours just to get from where I live, Toronto, to Montreal.
They're going to make your roof and
That's not good for
the roof and your
anybody.
hood
Yeah,
is going to be a
shit.
solar panel. That's the next step.
Well, that's what he's already done.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
But it's not that it hasn't been doable, but also, again, the gas industries and stuff are shutting a lot
Oh,
of shit
fuck
down.
yeah. That's going to be the biggest barrier is the lobbyists of the fuel industry.
Mm-hmm.
But so further on beyond that, in 25, 50 years, I'll be dust at that point.
I'm gonna still be living, bro.
Yeah, you can
He's
come
gonna be one of those heads
You know
from
why?
Futurama.
I'll be murking
Just
out
an inappropriate head from Futurama.
my jock
just
strap at
cursing
fucking
everybody.
Planet Fitness.
My cigars will do me in. I'll be just dust. You can come dance on my grave. But be
I'll be
the
in
automated. Some people think I'm totally crazy that in 25 to 50 years people won't own their own cars anymore because you'll pay like a Spotify subscription fee, right?
Yeah.
And an automated device will show up whenever, wherever you want.
Kind of like Uber.
Right? But it won't be a driver, okay? They'll figure out, okay, say, Steve, let's say, your car cost you $475 a month between fueling, registering, insuring,
I
payment.
think it would be really
Right.
cool if you could pick a driver. Be like, I want Mike Tyson to pick me
There
up.
wouldn't be anybody.
You know what I mean? Like just some random driver. It's like a hologram.
No, like in
You know, in
Back
the
to
car.
the Future, the guy comes.
Yeah, you can take a ride in the DeLorean if you want. You know,
So the
on your car.
let's say it was
you know?
$150 a month
Reagan.
right now. $150 a month right now to take you wherever, whenever you wanted to.
Okay.
Okay?
with Robert Parrish driving you.
Whatever. But it's going to be able to travel within the boundaries of physics, right? Because it's going to have like air traffic control systems in it where it's talking to other devices in the
Yeah, but
area.
dude, that air traffic control is fucking crazy.
It's going to be talking to a
It's
car
gonna be computerized.
40
and
miles
automated.
from here. And they'll
I mean,
just-
you
just
have to
ring.
have like literally different because there's so many cars compared to planes.
Yeah, but they're
there's a
gonna talk
lot
to
of
each
fucking
other.
planes flying around. So take all
mean-
the cars. Like you're gonna have like cars flying at like 10,000 feet, 20,
No, I'm not talking about
15,000.
flying cars. I'm
No,
talking
but
about
your
driving
car's
cars.
picking
Are you
up.
talking about automated cars?
Right,
Like,
but if
they
you want to
drive
get,
themselves
what I'm saying is,
to
if you want to get to,
destination,
if you
they
want to
just
get
drive
to fucking point A to point B like quick, you can't have all these automated cars
Yes, you
driving
can.
on the same level.
The reason why you can is because they can talk to each other on the same frequency and same
It
language.
doesn't need to go 1,000 miles
Look
out.
at what Facebook
10
has done.
feet
They had
out.
to shut down robots because they had invented.
Something
their
like
own
that.
language.
Now it's
Mark,
the robots.
it'd be like that Mark
Well, it's the
Wahlberg
same
movie
thing.
where
Yeah.
like he controls the traffic and they drive the
there's
Mini
not-
Coopers through the street and like they
Yes and no, but there's not going to be one person or an air traffic controller or a ground controller
Correct.
who's
Correct.
going to be managing this shit.
It's going to be automated.
The devices themselves will talk to each other
And know that-
manage itself.
know that 13
I'm
miles-
here
Do you think
at
that's
this
gonna
miles
knock
per
out-
hour.
but like
I'm
pro,
here at
things
this miles per
like-
hour.
well, like you say with
NASCAR
but
is
you say
huge
with
here, right?
programming, you have to fucking tell it a certain place to go. You can't have all these cars going in the same place at the same time because there's fucking 300 million fucking
You write the
people.
code once, the code can morph and develop and learn.
How?
It does. AI.
You have to tell it that.
Yes, of course.
Right.
Look, again, I go back to my Facebook.
How much
my
money are
Facebook-
we talking to make this?
Not
Dan?
much. Not much.
How much we talk? How much
I
we
don't know
Because
talking
it
about
about?
money.
becomes-
This
here's
is
the
not my
thing.
industry, but
Here's the thing, though.
We're
Once
a
it,
programmer. Let's
No, no, I
program
don't-
this shit.
I'm
I
going
don't
to give you
program
the.
robots.
I'm going to give you the answer once it starts to recognize this. If you send out a program that says, "I want to know the weather 13 miles from here," okay,
I can do that today.
and it knows that weather, it's going to repeat that weather and say, "Okay, don't
Yes.
do 114 because it's freezing 13 miles south of here." It's going to tell the car that you're in that okay, you can do 114 until you hit 9 miles from here until it drops below freezing.
And the
I-
car
I-
that he's
slow
in.
down.
I hope I'm alive when this
Do you
thing.
think
I hope
that
I'm
that's
alive.
going to knock out the American, if you will, interest in the in cars like Honda, Indy?
Well,
like,
here's the
things
thing.
like
it's
that?
going to
The
be
interest is gone already.
Your
with the
interest is
millennials.
Has NASCAR really dropped off?
No, listen. I'm going to answer this question. It's going to be like your child's like.
You know,
That's
there's a
a
bunch
pretty
of
good
American
question.
guys that are out there like, whoa, NASCAR.
Yeah.
So, like, do you think that the interest in automotive racing is going to die off?
Just because the interest in Harley Davidson
Vicky.
ownership has dropped off. in
Vicky,
this state.
do you like
Has it?
NASCAR?
Yes,
No.
significantly.
I think NASCAR is the most
gonna
But I'm
fucking
using it as an
stupidest
example
thing
because
ever.
there's NASCAR, there's
Ever.
IndyCar, there's Rally Car, there's
Yeah.
Baja, there's, you know what I mean, four wheel. Like everybody has an interest in this industry.
But the millennials don't. They don't like
Here's-
anything
I'm
that's
gonna answer-
mechanical.
Can we stop talking
I
over each other?
I do agree with that to an extent.
This
Jesus.
is good. This is good. This is how it
I'm
should
going to
be.
answer your question, okay? We have some people in this room have children. Our kids don't have any passion for blacksmithing and horse racing or fucking carriage driving, right?
No, I agree.
Because they weren't brought up with it.
Right.
That's how it's going to be.
Or
Yeah.
gladiator.
Right. So I'm talking 50 to 100 years from now, our grandchildren, great-grandchildren are going to never know what it's like to drive a car.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that go, like, fuck that, dude. I want to fucking drive. Woo! You know, and that's fine. And they're going to say, okay, yeah, you can drive, but it's going to cost you $5,000 a month to insure your car because you're a fucking liability.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
If you wanna
how
pay
are they a
that-
liability if the
Because
fucking
they're
computer
human
programmer
factor.
is so fucking
Because
smart?
it's not
it would
computer
morph
programmed.
itself and they would just go around that car driving.
Because the variable is the human brain.
Correct.
Okay,
There's
but then,
no variable.
but then
with
you
a
can get into
computer
so many
program.
other things. Like, is that going to put, like, if you can program your car to take you anywhere,
Yes.
and it's
Right.
going to be, say, at an accelerated speed,
Twice as fast.
Right.
Let's say.
it's going to be at an accelerated speed.
Yeah, but
how
so-
is then that going to affect? Like, we're gonna get rid of railways, and we're gonna get rid, like, what? How's it going to affect the airlines?
Well, the airlines will go faster still,
I understand.
to a degree, right? And you're gonna have
Right.
congestion because
Yeah,
of
but we're gonna
physical
have all these
occupancy.
cars flying in the
who's-
air too.
Why are you
No,
talking
but
about
why
flying
is it-
cars?
yeah, why are you
That's
talking
not going to be a
flying?
thing. That would never be a thing.
That's what you're talking
No,
about.
I'm not.
No,
Your
but I'm
whole
saying-
transportation
But
system.
But I'm saying
on
airlines
roads.
are going to fly faster, right? If cars
It's
are
not
going
fa-
faster,
it's all
airlines
road.
would have like essentially fly faster. But
To a
what is
degree, they can
powering?
only-
Like, do you think electrical can power an airline? Like, do you think that
Sure.
it has the electronics?
Let's talk to GE
Can
and
run
see if they
turbines,
can do it. Yeah,
like,
I'm sure
that
they
big?
can. I'm sure they can figure it out.
I'm not saying they can't. I'm asking it as a question.
If we
like,
can figure
is
it
that
out in
physically
a
possible?
Tesla, imagine what GE can do.
Right.
I
So
mean,
we don't know about the
that's-
skunk works that GE is
If
doing.
they can do that, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It has to be.
But think about how far we had to come just as engineers alone to get like rocket in space, right? So
But
this is-
I want to know these engines. Like, where do they come up with this fucking shit? Like,
Necessity.
seriously.
well, that's why
Demand.
like as a
It's
mechanic,
crazy.
as a mechanic, we're constantly cursing the engineers, but the engineers aren't thinking about us. They're thinking about just how to make that single part of a vehicle
So
work.
here's my thing though. This is my summary of this whole entire thing. In 25 to 50 years, the mechanic, as we know it today, won't look anything like it is right now.
You're staring at him right here.
Right? And everybody thinks I'm fucking crazy, but I'm like, when the cars have no fluids, right? My buddy is going back and forth to Thailand every other month working on electromagnetic brakes. They have no pads, no rotors, there's no heat, no friction. They don't wear out because it's reverse polarity on a magnet. That is a fact. He's working on it. They said that they're very close. It's not bad. It's in a trial phase. It's getting to the point where it's almost ready to go to market. So now you have no pads and rotors to sell. What do you have left to sell as a mechanic?
I
You have
agree with
software
that. I
upgrades?
just think that like I don't necessarily think it would be 25 to 50 years. I think there's a lot of governmental factors that are going to defy some of these things and put them off for as long as
I
they
can
can.
100% guarantee you that's the case.
Yeah.
But look
But
at
that's what they've done. The electric vehicle has been
Yeah.
around since the early like 1900s.
correct.
It's been available. Tesla was a thing prior to the actual like the first car came out.
But look at the
So-
advancement that SpaceX has done.
No,
Most
I
of their
agree.
advancement is done by programming
Yeah.
because the device is very simple.
Take the possibility. Agree on the possibility that this could happen.
Yeah, it will.
However, is the government going to lose taxes on building these vehicles and mass producing them to the average civilian
But
market?
if you switch the industry,
They're going to switch the
If
industry.
you
and
switch the
charge
industry-
They
it
will.
as a manual.
They will once the
Yes.
consumerism of what
Look at,
intake is
um,
on automotive vehicles declines.
look
Correct.
at telephones, television, right? If you said 40 years ago, dude, like network television's gonna fucking die to Netflix and Hulu,
Landline.
right?
Talk about landline.
Everyone would have said like, no, that never happened, right? So, or telephones too, like landlines, like, oh, there's no way that the lobbyists for AT&T and Pac Bell and all that shit would ever allow the cell phones to happen. It happened.
So take a poll.
Right.
Who in this room has a landline that's not internet based?
Nobody,
Bingo.
right?
What's a landline?
Exactly.
Right, exactly. So the
What's
same
a
thing could
fucking
be
telephone?
the same thing could be said for cars. So
Yeah.
all of a sudden you have a lobbyist that becomes more powerful for electric cars and automated cars than there are conventional fossil fuel cars,
Yeah.
right? So if that lobby and money becomes stronger for something that's more of appeal, if all the people say, "Fuck yeah, I want to pay half the price and travel twice as fast," and all the money is behind that, guess
And
where
I
your-
don't have to drive.
Guess where your lobbyists are coming from? They're coming from that.
And there's
They're
no
not coming from
emissions?
gas anymore.
No.
And then ExxonMobil
Well,
and
I
all those
think
other
emissions
companies.
is like. Are you still doing emission testings in the states?
Fuck
Not
no.
here.
No.
Not in this
No.
state.
We do inspection.
We do emissions in
We
New
just do a
Hampshire.
check engine light. We don't sniff the exhaust though. We don't.
No.
put a
No,
thing
like
on.
are you like for resale doing emissions testing?
Just your check engine light.
Some
Check engine light,
states-
ABS
no,
lights.
no.
Some
I'm
states do it.
talking about like when you
Sniffing the
have to sell,
exhaust?
No.
sell
No.
a vehicle. You're not
Like a smog inspection.
You're
No.
not-
Wisconsin does it.
You're not
Mass
hooking
does
them
it.
up
Yeah.
anymore, but you still have to run it through the OBD2 to pass an emissions test.
Well, we
Just
have
as the
to
check engine lights
We
on.
have OBD is
But that's what we
That's
call
it.
an
To make
emission
sure, like, the
inspector.
parameters are ready.
So
Yeah.
they've just changed the law in Ontario. Up until now, we've been doing emissions testing. So for like plate renewal or resale of a vehicle, you have to have an emissions test.
You know what?
Now that law just changed.
Is this because of Volkswagen?
No.
Okay.
No. It's a Canadian thing.
Okay.
BC had it. I forget what it was called, but they just got rid of. They got rid of it a couple years ago before Ontario did, and now Ontario is slowing down on it, but they don't want to lose the tax money over
So
it.
does Canada have like a yearly inspection, safety-wise?
Not annual. But
Is there anything like that, like once a year or twice a year, or like every
safety's
2
generally
years?
Generally for any resale vehicle, like if you're buying a used car or transferring ownership of a used car. And then, yes, we do have to do safety inspections to do some renewals, but I don't remember the interval, to be honest.
You know what?
with
You know, I
can't think of it off
just
the top of my
take a
head.
brief. I want to. You know what I hate with service advising or just dealing with cars at a dealership. Since we're talking about renewal plates, is like when you sell a car, you know how they'll sticker the car based off like the birth date given
They
by
do that
the
to
owner,
us, too.
and then they come back like 3 days later and blame you because you put the wrong sticker on. It's like, no, it's fucking, that's what you had it registered on. Did you, I always say, does somebody have a birth date on this month? Oh yeah, my husband. Well, there you go, you moron. You know? You're an idiot.
Sometimes it happens, like, you know, when you go into finance a car, they pick the best credit score. Like, you know, my wife was like 5 points higher than me or some shit. So even though I pay the car payment, the car's actually in her name. She hasn't worked in 6 years, you know what I mean? But it's somehow the car is in her name, but I'm, you know, paying the
I'm
payment.
surprised they let you buy it.
Well, I mean, I made a lot of money. I could, at the time, I could buy it, but you know, so it's just funny. But like, it should be in my name because I make the payments. But because she was like 5 points higher than me, they put it in her name, so it's registered in her name. So we have to do, you know, her birthday's 6 months before mine.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it might happen that way, where like they didn't know. You know, they like, thought it was in my name because I wanted the car, but they like find out their husband's, you know, 30 points better than they are or something. You know, the finance is slick dick McCricks back there. They don't tell you that they rolled into your husband's name, allegedly, you know, to get them.
Yeah, they just give you the paperwork. Here, sign here.
Get you 1.9, and then they come out and tell you it's 4.9 so they can fucking pork you and get the extra money up front, right? Like
I had a thought. You know, we were talking this week on Instagram because you made a post about advisors working 100% commission.
Yeah.
How do you think this is just a hypothetical situation, Vicky? If mechanics, the automotive technicians, were paid on 100% commission,
Kind of are, though, aren't you?
What do you
Indirectly.
mean?
Well, like an advisor, we have to sell that stuff to get paid, right? And what my post was, just people that didn't catch it, was basically what I was alluding to was that system really doesn't work because your ability to succeed is based upon the integrity of everybody else around you. It's management's marketing, it's BDC scheduling effectively.
So essentially
It's
flat rate is what you're saying?
kind of right.
I mean that's what I'm kind of alluding to. I think flat rate.
The
is
flat
like,
rate
I think
system,
a flat
to be
rate.
quite honest with you, it's simply barbaric.
I mean,
don't
I
like
think.
it.
Well, that's the
It's
thing.
not-
I think a flat rate. You know, I think it's a soft terminology, really used to entice technicians to work harder. You know, I get
That's
it.
not to say that
but
you
it
can't
should just
be successful on flat
It should
rate. You
just be.
can.
It should be. They should just call it 100% commission, because that's what it is. I think flat rate is just I play. You know, like a nice term to say
It's
you're
a
getting
nice
fucked.
way to say you're getting fucked. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
But
And the thing is, there's
you
no,
can
there's no limitation on what they can decide to pay you as a tech. They can just sort of say like, no, we're only going to pay you this much, or no, we're only going to pay you that much. There's no one that's saying no, technicians have to be paid within a certain range. We don't have union, we don't have backup. As automotive technicians, we have nothing really standing behind us to say, like, if you get a unionized job, then great, clap, clap for you. And most of the time you're getting paid hourly anyway. But as a flat rate technician, you're making like cents on their dollar, like not even. Like you're lucky if you get more than that, and even then, what's the point? So you know, you make say out of $30 out of their 100, and you're busting your balls for it, and then how do you even out? Like, yeah, there's jobs you can do. You can sell 6, 7, 8 hours, but what if something happens and then you're fucked?
The bolts are rusty. The cars are
Yeah,
shit
there's
bad.
just
right,
so
you
many
break
things that can
something.
go wrong. I'm sorry
Right.
for trailing off a little bit, but
No, we're going to be wrapping up the show in a little bit.
I like the idea of one of the things that we
But
talked about.
I have a question, Vic, but go ahead, buddy.
Yeah.
was that like the technician should be guaranteed 40 if you're there physically in the building for 40 hours,
Well,
right?
the problem is that like, first of all, companies are too cheap to do that.
Well, there's a fear, right? But if you say, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to say you've been here this year, you've made, I'm just going to throw a number, $50,000, right? We're going to give you 3% cost of living increase on a 40-hour base, but we're also going to look at your productivity monthly or quarterly. Okay, Vicky, you turn on average 50 hours a week. So now we're going to show you an increase. We're going to pay on
5%.
that, right? Whatever you could be 80 hours a week. So okay, so we're going to pay you 100% more, right? And we're going to review that constantly. And if you go down from there, then we'll do it at that point. But it's not fair for a tech to show up.
It's not fair for the lube laner to go home with a bigger check than
Correct,
the
'cause they're
licensed tech
hourly.
who's sitting in the bay.
Right. Because,
That's the problem.
and that's the integrity part that I bring up when you're talking about management's inability to understand the power of social media, that they're still marketing via phone, television, radio, all that horse
Movie
shit.
theater.
That's,
They market to the
antiquated.
movie theater.
It's fucked up.
Yeah. So, like, your success is directly.
And if somebody doesn't like you or wants to fuck you, they can just fuck you.
Well, it depends on your
Well, that's
dispatch
what
system.
in the
It depends on your
in
dispatch
automotive.
No, fuck your dispatch system.
How is your shop dispatch? Do you have a dispatcher? Or is it like electronic dispatch? How
I
do you
would say
divvy
it's
up the work?
electronic dispatch, but there is
You have
somebody
s-
that runs the tower.
So you have to locate it on a computer.
Yeah, we'd be locating on a computer system, which
So it's
the-
random, allegedly random.
Allegedly, yes.
Yeah, okay.
But realistically, there's still pre-assigned work. There's still favoritism, and I think you're gonna get that at
You're
every
always
shop.
gonna get
There's
that
always gonna
bullshit.
be the
Well, there's a
CPR guy,
human
the
development.
caliber pad rotor guy. There's always one of those guys.
But
And
Yeah,
for
that's
some
what
reason,
I've
that's
always
all
said.
he
That
gets,
this
and
is
that's
get
all he
over
gets.
because they're in every fucking shop.
They could just take a salary, right, and say, okay, Vicky, you've been with us 10 years. This guy that's 0 years is 40 grand. Vicky's 10 years. They're going to give her 65.
I've been with Chrysler for 2. Another technician that has been there for physically longer, but has only been on the bench for less period of time. And it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Whether I'm a great mechanic or not a great mechanic, like I will never ever in my career claim to be the best mechanic in the world, because I think anybody that does is full of shit.
Sure.
That's my belief. But at the end of the day,
Oh, but I got a guy.
but at the end of the day,
I got a gal.
I'm gonna be the lowest paid tech
Dan,
in the shop
why
because
don't-
I'm a female.
Bring it to a sexist level, Dan.
It unfortunately is a sexist level in my career, because it won't matter if I'm good or not good. It doesn't matter what the industry tells me. No, we want to help you. We want to support you. I'm like, well, it doesn't look like you're fucking supporting me financially.
'Cause
If
they're
you're
afraid
paying
to.
me
We talked about that
if
earlier,
you're
because they're
paying me
afraid to.
$10 lower than the average man in this industry. If you're paying me $10 less, and you're expecting me to be motivated from that,
They pay you $10 less on the hour.
then a man, yeah.
What?
Yep.
That's stupid.
And
Have you
do they wonder why you're doing
yet?
social media now?
Sorry?
Do they wonder why you're looking for other avenues of income?
Yeah, that's the thing.
So what the fuck?
And they want me to advertise for them for free? Absolutely not. No.
No.
No, nobody
That's
works for
not
free.
I read a statistic this week that 40% of people under 40 have a side hustle.
You have to
Right.
in this society. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but
right.
you have to.
It's all on
Yeah,
Etsy.
I have a side hustle. I had one when I was an advisor, and it became my full-time hustle when I left advising. So my
But the
side
reality
hustle
of it is, I don't want to sit here and discourage people of the millennial age not to do a blue collar job. Absolutely not. No, I don't want to say, oh, the automotive industry is such shit that you shouldn't get into it. Maybe pick a different trade if I could, if I would have. But I happen to love this trade and love what I do. And unfortunately for me as a female, I've had to continue fighting just to do this job. So yeah, I'll take the pay cut. I'll take whatever it takes to continue doing what I love to do. And if that's this or something else, then great, right?
Right.
But
Yeah. Suck on that, Volvo.
So this is some pure Hemi power. So we're gonna end the show. And Vicky, we want to ask you if you could say one thing to females out there that are looking to, get into the industry, that like cars, like engines, like this shit, like we like. What would you say to them? To what would entice them to do this?
entice them or advise them?
Advise, advise.
I think the most important part
What would you
is
say to them, just starting out?
if I had an apprentice in front of me, a female apprentice that was a young girl, I would probably tell her to stay classy. That is most important, because at the end of the day, you need respect. And if you're not going to stay classy and you're not going to shut your legs, and if you're, blowing guys behind the bench, you're not going to make it in this industry. You have to absolutely have respect. And secondly, if you're going to come in and do this and you want to be in the boys club, you've got to work twice as hard and hustle twice as hard and have a more foul mouth than they do and cuss them off harder and take every chirp and throw it back in their face. There's no crying in baseball. There's no crying in automotive. So as far as this is concerned, be pretty, be sexy, be beautiful, be exactly who you are. Just do it with a level of pride and class that you can get the respect that you deserve.
That's excellent. And on that note,
Right on.
we have to ask Vicky our survey question, Steve.
That's where I thought he was going.
I know.
I'm
He
getting.
changed it up.
I'm getting there. Don't you worry.
Okay.
There's going to be a survey at the end of the show,
Yeah, there's always a survey for our guests.
right?
So Vicky, since you traveled all the way from Toronto, Canada,
Oh, fucking
And you-
Nickelback.
and Nickelback was the
You crossed the bear.
was
not
the
ours.
waiting on the phone. Like, this is the shit I would be playing if I had a dealership, and you were waiting on the phone. I played like some Wu-Tang, or like some Nickelback, just random like
Not
cool
that
shit.
elevator music where
Yeah.
it's like...
Right. So like, just being a service advisor show, we get rated on surveys, and we have to ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the only passing grade, it's excellent, far above and beyond your expectations ever in the universe, or 1 is Sucksville.
Didn't we already do this when you called me the last time?
Yeah, but you gotta answer again.
But you
Yeah.
have to answer again because you're live on the air. So 10's the only passing grade. What would you rate the show?
10.
Thank you.
There we go. That was easy.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a 10.
Well, we're really nice, Dave, so we gotta give you a passing grade.
Etienne.
All right, where can they catch us? ServiceAdvisorMax.com, iTunes, Service Advisor Max, Stitcher, Service Advisor
And
Max.
Vicky, where can people follow along with more of your antics?
Facebook, Torque&Tatas, and Instagram at Vicki.C.Hemi.
Yeah, right.
Well, where is that on Instagram or where you didn't? You just
I did.
rattled
I
that
just
off.
said.
Was it Instagram? I wasn't
She
paying
did
attention.
say.
Derp-a-derp?
Apparently, it wasn't.
I'm a totally derper. I'm Polish. I admit this.
On
I've said this
Instagram.
ever fucking.
At
You know how it is.
Vicki.C.Hemi.
This is what I'm up against, folks.
Right?
You know, I worked with this guy for 5 years. You know,
It's the Canadian beer it got to him.
something got to him.
Something always gets to
It's the
me.
middle of the light that got to him. There you go.
Just screwed up his.
It just messed it
jam,
all up.
Right.
All right, catch you next week, fellas.
We're gonna. What are we gonna do this weekend? What do you guys got going on?
This is all I heard from Vicky's answer.
I got a pool party going on.
A pool party, like
Yeah.
like swimming pool or billiards?
Swimming pool.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough.
yeah.
Fair enough. Steve, what do you got going on?
A little house
This weekend?
Yeah,
I don't know.
you got the weekend off.
I
Right?
do.
Are we gonna-
It's gonna be great.
Are we going to do the Saturday morning shit show live from the shower scene that we've been talking about? That's coming,
We definitely
coming.
did that one.
right? The one eye sleep shower.
You want me live in the shower?
I think it'll
doing
be
a
an
Saturday
interesting-
morning shit show.
It'll be an interesting angle, right? You know what I'm talking about when you wake up and you do that one eye sleep thing, like you're trying to fucking fool somebody, you know?
I do, unfortunately.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
5 a.m. when I wake up on
Vic,
my
you ever do
days
that,
off.
the one-eyed sleep thing in the shower? You get up too early, you're still tired, right?
I shower at night.
I'm sorry, I shower at night. I don't shower in the morning because I
like-
know
I
I'm
have
gonna
to
get
do it in the
greasy,
morning.
so it seems redundant.
Yeah.
I have to in the morning wake me up.
Me
No.
too.
my
That's
jam.
how I am.
Yeah, right.
I can't function.
I know a lot of guys like that, but as
Oh
a
my
woman,
God.
like the hair and the shampoo, fuck it.
Yeah, you got long hair. It takes forever to dry. It would never dry. At
It's not gonna happen.
the end of the day, it'd still be wet, you know? Yeah, Steve's got that problem too.
What problem?
Wet hair.
I'm
Totally.
gonna punch him in the face if he plays with my Nickelback. You guys are gonna go off air, and then all of a sudden you're gonna see me launch across the room with Steve.
He's really into this, actually.
Just so you know, we never go off air.
Yeah, it just keeps going and going and going.
It's like the Energizer
That's why we
Bunny.
don't have the on-air button or
yeah.
anything.
It's the podcast that never ends.
This
Yeah.
one is shit.
What are we doing next week? We'll be back with Jackassery Hour,
Yeah,
Right.
just
That's
the
a good idea.
random bullshit.
number
you know?
16.
You can join us for free on iTunes, Stitcher,
The Frank Viola edition.
ServiceAdvisorMax.com.
We do our Instagram live Friday nights, like sometime in the 8 to 9 o'clock
From
hour.
8:30 to 9:30.
Yeah, you just keep your phone handy.
Yeah.
It'll alert you.
Yeah.
You know, follow us on Instagram, Service Advisor Max.
All right, good
All
night.
right. Steve's Dan's signing off for us.
Well, I guess that's it.
All right. Apparently Dan's done. So